Oh, hello, you beautiful nerds. Fancy meeting you here. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk.
Mostly.
Oh, yeah,
drunk. My voice is back, goddammit.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, good night. Right. We do this mostly drunk, never mandatory, but always encouraged. I am Jedi Master Grayson. I am joined, as always, by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
What up, dog?
What up, dog? I am tip top. Never better.
Shout out to Kyle at Blue Monkey. I think that place is closed now. But you know what I'm talking about. Everybody, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all tell them what's up. Tell them what up, dog.
I meant to go to Blue Monkey when I went to
Alabama. It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist.
Neither does J Cloud. They like tore it down.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sad story.
Formaggio's is also that's a parking lot.
We should do I don't have a sad song. I gotta download a sad song on here because that's what needs to happen. I need like a real like somber.
We should just get the.
Oh no, I got that. I just took it. I actually took it off.
It's like we never use
I can upload it again, but I took it off. I forgot. I'm gonna put it back on here right now.
Put it back on.
Go ahead,
guys. I am so excited about tonight. I am this is like the best day of my life, honestly, because we're talking about so much nerd shit tonight. I'm overselling this episode.
That's really funny because he really just has had a terrible day.
So. Oh yeah, I've actually had a dog shit day. You know, in the words of the immortal Alfred Pennyworth, pretend to have fun long enough, you might have a little bit of accident.
That's right.
But tonight we are going to be talking about
Thank you, Master Wayne.
Thank you, Master Wayne. We're going to be talking about House of the Dragon. We're talking little sound cues. We're talking The Acolyte. We're talking The Boys. Yeah, that's right. The Boys are back in town. We're talking about the new Apple TV Plus sci-fi series.
I just missed that. I missed that one, so I just wanted to play it because I missed that drop. But
I mean, it's a great song. You can play it whenever you want. We can play.
Nigga, I just when I hit this snap, you go to talking about goddamn something else.
I'll start running another universe. We're talking about Apple TV Plus's latest sci-fi series, Dark Matter.
That's right.
And as always, we're talking shit. But before we get into the nitty gritty, hold your applause for
Jesus
the intro
Christ,
of our panel.
Calm down. Yeah.
Hold your applause to the end. We are joined by a philosopher of the barbershop variety. Sorry, wrong adverb. 9. Welcome back to the show.
Higher than barbershop quality, but the same conversation.
The prices are raising. I'm doing good. Actually, I don't know. It's pretty muggy right now. Shout out to the sun today. You're working extra hard today, son. Shout out to that water.
Yeah, let's keep it real. It's fucking hot outside. I don't care where you are in the world. You know why I got this hoodie on? Because I don't care that it's 66 degrees in here. I don't care. Because it hasn't been 66 degrees. I can't run the air like that here in the daytime because it'll die. Yeah. So when the sun go down, nope.
It's funny. I was wearing a jacket at work today specifically to hide my pit stains.
Yo, where is that?
All the action that's happening right here.
I may have to seal that, but I think I will just sweat through my jacket, to be honest.
Right?
It was bad. The train was really bad today. The CTA, man, you're going to have to bring a mop if you go on the CTA. It was sweaty.
Shout out to the CTA.
Yeah,
to anybody who has to fucking clean it.
Yeah, it's the Chicago,
oh my god,
Chicago, a beautiful city. Though it is somewhat like the ninth circle of hell, or it's like the mini circles of hell, where it's just like you get crazy cold winters and crazy hot summers.
It's really weird. It's really weird. But I mean, Jesus, Othelia's talking about Phoenix. I'm hearing that they're melting tires on Phoenix.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
The
it's
ground.
It's the Phoenix right now for sure.
Yeah. The floor is lava for real.
I do want to make it clear that I am running the AC at 66. Like that's what the AC is running at. And shout out to everybody who doesn't have AC out there in the world. I pray for all of y'all, and I hope that we get it together. Goddamn it, we gonna get it together. All you gotta do is call the hotline 323-680-4101. Leave us a comment. Talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But yeah, and then we'll put it on the Bantha Bunch show on no, actually, I'm gonna just make a video of it and post it on the Drunk Bantha channel.
Yeah. And guys, this is a new thing. You can actually call in and leave a voicemail, so don't be shy.
Might be good. Yeah, NerdsatHighlights need to upload some more content to that, but that's also a channel that we may be uploading those little clips to.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna upload those clips to NerdsatHighlights. So yeah, man, you want to get your jokes off. If you just want to tell me to go fuck myself, if you have personal grievances towards family members, but you don't want to say it to their face, put it in here, man. Put it here, and you won't be speaking into an empty void like on Twitter or Facebook or anything. Be talking to us, and we'll be getting the old message to the people.
Yes, the Drunk Banthas channel is famously a safe place.
Also, we're coming at you tonight live in glorious 1080p. I don't know if my internet can actually handle 1080p, but we'll see.
Yeah, it was warning me that mine might not be able to, but I was like, bitch, I got the highest internet in the goddamn world. Get the out my face.
Like, don't even play with me.
Don't play with me.
But let's get into the nitty gritty.
Which one are we starting with first?
We're starting with that multiversal madness over on Dark Matter. We're talking about episode 7. So 9, a little, peek behind the curtain. We were talking off pod. You said that it was like, man, I gotta get into this Dark Matter show. Have you gotten into it at all?
No, sadly, because there was just so much peak going on, so many premieres going on this last week. I did not get into it, but maybe sometime this week I'll be able to. How many episodes are left?
Just 2 episodes left.
2. Yeah, 2.
2 episodes left. Okay, so I could probably catch up.
You can definitely catch up, dude.
I can definitely catch up.
You just got.
It looks exactly like my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
It is. That's why the great Chef Houdini fucking picked it out, and I carefully curated everything that he had sent me. I was like, carry
the
multiverse, nerd. Just have a book series. Check. Is this on a streaming service I can afford and already have? Check.
Right. If you bought an iPhone in the past year, you can watch this show. It's definitely been an interesting show. Sorry, like, Nine, were you about to say something?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. It's been a very interesting show, and like I think we talked about this a little bit in the first episode. How Rick and Morty really, with their explanation and just like layman's term explanation of like the multiverse and its implications, the way they've been able to do that, and that just this simple animated series that's kind of like rippled throughout the zeitgeist, and we just gotten so many multiversal shows, like both heady and silly and like everywhere in between. And this is definitely leans more toward the heady side for sure, as Apple TV Plus does kind of all the time with their sci-fi shows. But let's talk about episode 7.
That was a beautiful introduction.
Oh, thank you. Hey, that's the nicest thing you've ever said about it.
Well, it just so happens it's gonna follow. He never does that elegantly. So there you go. So there it is.
Yeah, don't watch any of the other episodes. This is the best it gets. This is the best it gets.
Shout out to Morgan. Shout out to Othelius.
What
shit. It do, y'all? What it do?
Yeah,
appreciate y'all commenting, man. For real. These other niggas scared. It's weird.
No, we definitely always appreciate whoever gets the chat going, because everybody's like always kind of like nervous. It's like, should I talk? Should I not? Yeah, you can talk, man. Talk to me. Let's chat about it. But in this episode of Dark Matter, Amanda and Jason get their day off. The two go to dinner where Amanda tries to convince Jason to stay in this idealistic universe, but Jason declines. What did you think of this scene? Because we speculated earlier in the season that Jason might do something violent toward Amanda because we all assumed that them going through the box at the same time was interfering with Jason's intentions. Like, he wants to go home. Amanda kind of doesn't have a home. She can't go back to her old universe. She can't go to his new universe. So she's just kind of without a home, and that's kind of mucking up the box's I guess intentions as we understand it. How did you feel about her making the decision to stay behind and Jason kind of begrudgingly going on without her? Pregnant pause.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. This is it's an interesting situation because mostly I had already predicted this shit.
This is true.
I predicted this shit last week, you know. So I'm off that time already. You know what I'm saying? I'm on some other time, but I'm gonna answer the question for you though, because I like you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna answer the question, which I thought that it was interesting. I thought it was a different way to go. It definitely helped people who were like me, who already kind of, you know, we were ahead of the game. We did our work. We worked ahead, right? Remember how in school you could like
read ahead
and then do all the questions at the end of the chapter. I already did that. I'm over here in episode 8 already. Like, yo, what is the fuck is going on? But then I had to go back because I missed question 12 because I didn't know that she was going to be the one to ditch him. Not ditch him, but you know, realize like, yo, we can't keep doing this, dog.
Yeah.
And I think she realized it like 2 episodes ago, like, yo, I'm the one choosing these spots because this is exactly what I was thinking. She's like, and I let him open the door this time, and it's been what I was thinking every time. So I think it was a good change, like not change because it was already written, but I think it was a good misdirect. Crossover. Hit me with you know what I'm saying? Hit me with the and then my ankles was hurting.
Kansas City Shuffle.
Kansas City Shuffle. I feel like that's a big of an exagreration.
Yeah,
right
actually, we got to save the Kansas City Shuffle.
Yeah, you can't just be throwing that around.
Yeah,
you almost hurt somebody in this motherfucker.
I apologize.
I think this is too close to me, or my voice is too. Something's going on. Let me turn this down.
Feel like your voice is a little too intense.
I'm just, I'm a loud nigga. I'm whispering right now. This shit loud.
Shout outs to Frothy. She said that she's listening to you with one ear at dinner.
Little Frothy.
Thanks.
What's happening?
Little Frothy. Way to multitask. I actually was I was listening to music today while I was at work for the first time.
Music Soul Child?
Not like I had one earbud in my.
Oh.
Well, actually, thank you. I'm going to be listening to Music Soul Child tomorrow.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Music Soul Child.
But I did think that this was like an interesting dynamic between the two of them because like they obviously set up a lot of this in the last episode because Amanda and Jason obviously they acknowledged an attraction between each other. And
of course they got an attraction.
Yeah, of course.
Across the multiverse.
Yeah, like, and you know, they two pretty people in a post-apocalyptic situation. Like usually that ends up in sexual relations. But I do appreciate both of their resolve. Like Amanda doesn't seem malicious or resentful because Jason doesn't share the same feelings, and Jason isn't like throwing caution to the wind. Like he still believes that he has a chance to get back with Daniela and get his life back. And I just think that is just such a beautiful scene between the two of them. Because they have a strong emotional connection with each other. But at the end of the day, Amanda realizes that she can't keep doing this. Mostly because of her conversation with homegirl in the last or 2 episodes ago.
Old girl.
Yeah, old girl. Black chick.
Blair.
Strikingly beautiful. Blair. Like she was she says like at some point you're gonna have to choose what kind of world you want to live in. And Amanda kind of hit the fucking jackpot. Like this is kind of seems like a perfect world.
But it also seems like the world that our buddy Ray got left at. A perfect
Ryan,
world.
yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, because like I thought
Ryan
about
Ray.
that too. Because
his last name is Ray. No, I'm joking.
What's your last name?
But yeah,
Skywalker.
yeah, but so I think he's gone to the same place because we see the Aurora Borealis like in her world, and we saw that clearly when he got what would you call it? He wasn't kidnapped because he was just left.
Yeah.
He was abandoned.
Yeah, he was abandoned.
He was abandoned.
Abandoned is the perfect.
He was abandoned. Because I was gonna say kidnapped too, but he ain't a child one.
Yeah.
I don't believe
adult napped.
Yeah, exactly. You big napped. If you get kidnapped and you're not a kid, you big napped. To me, that makes logical sense.
What was that line in Atlanta where Cat Williams was talking about his wife? Because they accused him of kidnapping.
You can't get kidnapped.
He's like, you're gonna need if that bitch was kidnapped, you're gonna need a time machine. Because that
I don't have time to explain right now, but it has the word kid in it.
That shit was funny. Shout out to Cat, friend of the show.
I think he won an Emmy for that.
He did. He won an Emmy. That's why he talked so
well deserved.
That's when he started talking like this in the interview. He didn't start talking like this and rubbing his legs, rubbing his thighs until, I got some clarity on some of the things going on in Hollywood.
Yeah, famously, yeah. After you win that Emmy,
that nigga has an Emmy talking about how niggas got to get famous by getting popped in the dude. You got to make sure you're not contradicting yourself or implicating yourself when you out here trying to tell the truth. That's just, oh man. Anyway,
Ophelia said in the chat, "You cannot kidnap an adult. Mathematically, it's impossible."
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh man, he said a lot of things, but
yeah, that was great. But yeah, like to your point, there could be some more implications with Amanda and Ryan in that universe. We could see them because we see that Jason 1 does sneak 2 ampules in her purse, so she does have the ability to traverse through the multiverse.
Yeah, no Cosby.
Yeah, it's a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna get.
Look, I covered it. I said no Cosby.
You did cover it.
You good?
But so
you're good.
I'm curious how that's gonna turn out later on, or if we get more than 9 episodes, because it seems like a lot of story to wrap up in 2 more episodes. But let's get back to Dick Jason. Do you have the?
Oh,
yeah, we're getting back to Dick Jason.
Okay, good. Next time I'll do it right when I'm tired of hearing you talk, because I was tired of hearing you say stuff, and I know
that is my skill. I talk until you're tired of hearing me, and then I move on to something else. It's like, man, I wish the Dick would stop talking. Don't worry, I will. But we move back to Dick Jason. We see that Ryan's disappearance has caught the attention of the police. We get Detective Mason again, and this forces Dick Jason to unseal the box and steal a random alcoholic Ryan from a different universe to replace the one he abandoned in another universe.
See, that's how I know you didn't get it from Wikipedia this time, because there's dick jokes in there.
Yeah.
This guy he's unveiling the box.
As I was writing, I was like,
no, he's Jason Todd.
Oh no, it's Dick Jason.
You said Dick Jason this time. So he's Dick Jason unveiling his box.
You know what? After spoilers, we might have to. We have 2 names for this Jason, Dick Jason and Jason Todd. We might just have to have attribute Dick Jason to somebody else, since we have more Jasons.
We're gonna have at least 6 Jasons.
We're gonna
that's a spoiler alert.
6 Jasons.
So yeah, go ahead. Should I just say that now?
No. Well, before we get into that,
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let you cook.
What did you think of
this? You're right, Othelius.
Ophelia said this is a very mature podcast, and Bill Finn abused that drop. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's too good.
Going back to talking, goddamn it, it's like a whip.
Great. But yeah, like, what did you think of this? Because we see Dick Jason playing fast and loose with just like going through the universe. Like after, like it's kind of like an addiction. Like he walls off this thing so he can't be used.
Dick Grayson, that's what it is.
He walls up this thing so it can't be used, but then he immediately breaks it open with a sledgehammer in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we did not get a whole episode with Concrete Box.
Yeah,
not one whole episode.
Not one whole episode.
But the intro of the movie, of the show, is interesting to me. So, like, the intro of the show, it depicts at the very end the concrete box being like basically put together. So you see that. So I think we're maybe gonna have, since we have multiple Jasons, like I told y'all last week, and I'm not reading the books now.
Yeah,
I don't like reading. I'm not reading the books. I'm trying to tell y'all, I didn't even know it was a book till we was gonna watch this shit.
Yeah, me either. Yeah,
but excuse me. Oh, shout out to
oh yeah, Mr. Anti-Idiotic. Hello.
What up, Mr. Anti-Idiotic? First time, long time. No, not first time, long time. He's been here before.
Yeah,
he or she.
One of the
that person's been here before. Shout out to Aldo. Shout out to you.
What's a Mr.? So I'm assuming that he identifies as male.
Whatever. I don't know. I really don't care. I was just saying hi. This is a very mature podcast. Just so y'all know, this is a very mature podcast.
It's a very mature podcast. If you didn't guess from
Ophelia said LeVar Burton somewhere crying. Yeah, I did say I don't read and I don't like reading, but you should read. Don't get it twisted. I've read enough. You should read. But anyway, so yeah, I was just trying to tell y'all, look, we got multiple Jasons here. In the intro, you see multiple Jasons like sitting across from each other, and you see like figurines hanging out together. So I would assume that's him and Amanda, and different one of those looking across from each other type shit as the concrete box forms itself. And I think that's like a metaphor for the whole show or the whole series, as it would be if this gets a second season.
Yeah,
which I'm pretty sure it's going to get one.
Feels like it.
It's like on Apple TV. Look, I never know what's popular on Apple TV. You know how I know? Apple TV tells me. This just says, "Oh, it's the number one show on Apple TV." Nigga, y'all have no other shows playing at the same time.
Yeah,
y'all do not play shows at the same time.
Yeah, and Ted Lasso is always in the top 10. Like, no matter what, it's always like, oh, Ted Lasso is number 7 most watched show on Apple TV.
They're going to have to put that behind a paywall for niggas to not make that.
Have you guys seen Constellation?
I have not.
On Apple TV?
No, yeah.
The premise is actually very similar. Like, when you were talking about, like, how Apple's been doing all these, like, heady sci-fi multiverse shows, but it's basically like an astronaut goes out into space, and then she comes back and realizes that, like, she's kind of like swapped universes.
Oh, she got Planet of the Apes.
She got Planet of the Apes.
In a little bit, yeah. She got Planet of the Apes or something. But yeah, things are just like slightly different. Like her car's like blue instead of red or some. You know, it's pretty interesting. Her daughter is not her daughter, and like is like really the only one that notices.
Shout out to you, little fictional lost space girl. This is a very sad story. I don't want to get caught up with no different.
It was decent.
I don't want to happen to me. So
that sounds.
I'm gonna drink to you.
Honestly, at this point, if it's sci-fi, Apple TV Plus has like won my they won me over.
They've got enough street cred right now.
Yeah,
I wish Apple TV did 3 Body Problem instead of Netflix.
Really?
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think it. Well, because Netflix, is it Netflix? Whenever it's a Netflix thing, I'm like, yo, somebody else did it. They sold it to Netflix. It's not. They didn't do shit. Netflix is the Trump of motherfucking movie studios. They just put their name on it.
They piggyback on it.
Okay.
That's what Trump does. He's
I was like,
that's actually how he makes his money,
because he's got a lot of characteristics. I was
they like bad comedians. That's the
Yeah.
They like really bad comedians.
Yeah, Netflix eats like 1 ton of fucking McDonald's for Thanksgiving every year.
Brady. Wow, that was great. Netflix sucks from Thanksgiving to December.
Where's the button? Is that where is
Which one?
The clicky button.
Oh,
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
no,
whip.
actually, you know what? We
I'm
didn't.
gonna call it the whip.
We didn't get your. I'm curious how you feel about Ryan.
yeah.
You know, Jason stole drunk Ryan from another
Brought
universe. Brought him over here.
We gotta replace. We're gonna call him Replacement Ryan.
Replacement
because we're gonna have probably a whole bunch of Ryans. We're gonna call him Replacement Ryan because I think he's gonna be the only one that's replaced.
Okay. Yeah, I love alliteration, so
yeah,
that works for me.
Replacement Ryan. He is smart apparently still, but at the same time, he's an alcoholic who's a failure at life.
Yeah.
So I think that those traits will transfer over. Like when you go overseas and you got to get different currency.
Yeah,
it'll transfer over because they fuck with each other. And so his alcoholism and drug abuse will continue. And they probably got better drugs in this universe than he did in his.
Oh yeah, they probably have the best drugs.
You don't even know what. Well, they don't even have the shit that they got. Right? They didn't figure out how to make the little drug that he got.
Yeah.
So they definitely don't have as good drugs in his universe. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb, say that this is not gonna be a good decision.
Yeah,
plucking a guy you have no idea who he is, you don't know nothing about this nigga, other than what you learned in about 20. What I can assume is about 20 to 30 minutes of hanging out at a bar.
Yeah, obviously didn't spend very much time with each other, and it shows Dick Jason's impulsive nature. Like he wants to. He's talking about just like up and leaving this universe because things didn't turn out his way. And he feels like he has the Ryan from this universe starts to stumble upon his plot, and he just like throws him in a random universe, not thinking about what the consequences of that will be, and he just rips another Ryan from another universe, again not thinking about the consequences. So I'm curious how this is going to turn out because we see
who the fuck are you, man? Who the fuck are you? Green Lanterns? The consequences ripping through time and do blah blah blah. Hold on, man.
Yeah.
First of all, he didn't send Ryan to a random Ryan one. He didn't send him to a random universe.
Yeah.
He sent him to a universe he thought his friend would love.
Yeah, that is sweet in theory, and when you're not like kidnapping somebody and throwing
that doesn't mean that he look. What is it? What do we always say on this show, Alex, about the villains?
They're cool.
You're goddamn right, they're cool. But also, what do we also say?
Just tell me.
Every villain thinks that they're the good guy.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true.
So
good ones, yeah.
Every villain is Lemons.
Don Lemons. I don't know.
Mr. Anti-Idiotic said, did you hear the rumor Ryan Coogler is directing the new X-Men reboot? Oh.
No.
I did hear a little bit about that, and also heard that Jordan Peele also had interviews about that.
He did have interviews about it, but I think he's going to do something else. But Mr. Anti-Idiotic, you got to come on the Bantha Bunch show. We're going to talk about that right there. I'm probably going to get into that. Bantha Bunch show, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Thursdays.
That's what we call in the showbiz a teaser. But yeah, like the whole Dick Jason like stealing. Wait, what were we
I'm glad
about?
my name's not Jason. I'd be so mad at you calling this nigga Dick Jason. Matter of fact, that would have been dead week one.
Yeah, so I mean, your name being Richard would definitely be way worse.
I would have been used to that. Sure.
But yeah, I'm curious how this is going to turn out because like we see zero conversation between Ryan and Jason after they get into this universe. Like the way it looks, he has like replacement Ryan has no idea what's going on. He's gonna wake up not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, replacement Ryan threw up immediately when he got out the box.
Yeah, that's true.
He was like, "But I don't think. Have we seen anybody else throw up?"
I think that Jason 1 did throw it when he first got there.
We don't know what he did when he first got there because he was woken up by other people.
Has anyone went into the box just like wasted?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Next is we don't have anyone who's actually gone through wasted, so it might be because you take that drug, you can't overdose from the drug. So what happens usually with drugs that you can't overdose from, you end up throwing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just so you know, for you kids out there,
getting white boy wasted.
I'm not gonna share which universe. Yeah, I'm not gonna share which drugs those are because you kids out there shouldn't be doing drugs. You should be watching the Drunk Banthas show on Mondays, 8 p.m. Pacific time. That's
instead of vaping.
You doing
instead of vaping. Now, Wayne, I'm gonna go take this next shot.
While you prepare your shot, I'm gonna set up the last scene of this episode before we get to our next topic. Thank you. So Jason 1 makes it back to his universe without the interference of Amanda's consciousness. He's able to traverse through the box, not without one hiccup. We'll get to that a little bit later. But he does make it back to his own universe. And
we gonna make it. We gonna make it. Oh shit.
But while running through the streets of Chicago, he passes a movie theater that is showing It's a Wonderful Life. Obviously, a reference to this moment because like when fucking what's his name gets back to his own universe at the end of It's a Wonderful Life. He's running through the streets. He's like, "Oh, Alice! Oh,
God! Oh God, Alice!" Who did it better, Madam Web or this?
This I don't even know what. I wasn't even listening to him until we got to the Alice part. You asked the question. I'm just gonna say this. Fuck Madam Web.
Madam Web was a Christmas Carol.
Shut up.
It wasn't.
That's your fucking.
But also Madam Web every time. But I did find it funny that they one of the other movies that was on the marquee was Upgrade, which is a great movie. Like literally in my mind, even though it's like a great like emotional.
I think we both own it.
Yeah, I think we do. We both. Like as he was running through the streets, and I saw Upgrade on the marquee, I was like, dude, like I know you need to get to your family, but you should like duck in here real quick and just like watch this movie because it's really good. Like you should just like take 2 hours like to yourself.
It's on the marquee, but like so it's set. When is it set?
So this would be like what 2019, I think. All right.
Why is Upgrade on the marquee then?
Because the Upgrade came out in like 2019.
Oh,
right?
Really?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Man, I'll Google you.
I have no idea.
No, 9's on it. He went quick draw faster than me.
I have no
clue. Oh, 2018. For some reason, I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was like a 2019.
My mind thought it was earlier than that too, but Alex usually be right on shit like that. So I just kind of conceded.
Well, Upgrade is one of those movies that nobody saw when it came out.
Also,
so,
me and him have seen that movie like 150 times, and he pay attention to shit like that. So I gave him some credit. He was wrong though, nigga.
Yeah,
he was wrong as hell. You was so goddamn wrong. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. But anyway, but yeah, let's get to the point, man. Let me get to the point.
Yeah.
The point is, I was right again. Third Jason, baby. Third Jason. But he's actually Jason number 6. I'm gonna let you explain that. But look, in this episode or in the last episode, we got a snap that is basically in this show an indicator that we are going from universe to universe. We've established that early in episode 1.
That's a signifier, yeah.
Right. When in episode 6, we get our 2 characters who are traversing the multiverse. They go to a universe where they end up having dinner, and then they get a hotel, right?
Right.
Amanda and Jason 1.
Still don't know how money works in this, but whatever.
We get hit with. Hand me that so this don't make no noise.
This?
Yeah, we get hit with another snap, like all of a sudden. And then, but we're in the same spot. We're looking at the same hotel.
Yeah.
And they told each other that they were going to meet up later, but then they did. So that, like, we just assumed, like, okay, I guess they're just meeting back up. Is that what's happening here? And I mentioned it on the show, like, yo, I think that we saw a completely different universe. It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah.
So then we confirm that in this episode when we get to the end and we see Jason walk into the gun store like, yo, let me get a gat. And then they was like, hell yeah, like, nigga, I'll get you a gat. What kind of gat you want? And then he was like, that one. And then they was like, you gotta wait on the waiting list. Communists. So it's a 30-day wait on that. You motherfucking communists.
Liberal elite trying to take my guns away.
But he's an idiot, though. He's lived in Chicago for at least 16 years. He don't know that they got gun laws that you can't just go into a gun store and get a gun.
I guess this is like
Niggas
crazy
drive
universe.
to Odi or goddamn Colton or whatever. Like, come on, man. Drive to one of them goddamn shitty rural cities.
Toledo or something.
Hey, just go to Toledo. Go to South Bend.
Yeah, go to South Bend.
Like a couple hours away. Like, anyway, you can take a train there. Anyway. I had my pet peeves. He was in a rush. He was hyped, right? He was hyped. He goes there, can't get a gun, gets a knife, dips out.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he dips out, another him comes through the door. And I was like
20 seconds
oh,
later.
shit, that's my nigga. That's him. Because in this episode 7, we also see there's a moment where we get another snap and it seems as if nothing has changed because he's by himself. Mm-hmm. Amanda's left him. First thing he sees is this dilapidated universe where his house is destroyed and he walks to it and he sees it. He's in shock. And then we get a motherfucking snap. And we get to him looking out at the same spot while he's looking out at his house still. But it's a different house. Like, it's an actual constructed house. It's not destroyed. And his wife is in there. And he calls her to talk to her. Right?
Yeah.
And then he goes in there and sees it. And we see this world where we see that we're in a world where Max lived, or both of his sons lived in the twins. They didn't die. One of them didn't die in childbirth.
Right.
So
yeah, which is interesting because like it seemed like there were implications that maybe
that's the best life, right? So he's not even living the best Jason. But go ahead.
Well, no. Like it's funny that you say like that's the best life because it kind of shows the temptations of him kind of falling in the same place. In the same shoes as Dick Jason, because obviously Dick Jason decided he was going to he saw a universe that looked from the outside looking in way better than his, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. And Jason is kind of put in that same situation where it's like, this is kind of everything that I want, but that only problem is that motherfucker looks like me and he's sitting next to my wife, so he kind of has that same temptation. We even see him see the mask.
He even said he was tempted. He said he was tempted.
Yeah, and like we get that like really beautiful monologue.
Well, I'm sorry. He said he was tempted last week.
Right. Yeah, he said he was tempted last week.
So, like, to your point, when he's looking in the glass window, looking at that mask, you're right.
He's like, I could do this.
I could do this.
But we get this great monologue before he ends up in his true universe, where he talks about how like he always envisioned the perfect life. And he always thought like, maybe you could do this different, maybe you could do this different, and you could get the life that you really, really want. Which the other thing is like the most intriguing thing about all these multiversal stories is like, the sliding door situation is like, what if I made this decision differently? Would my life be better? So like,
no.
I and like, turns out it was like, you have to be happy with like, that Jason's realizations that you had to be happy with the life that you have and the circumstances that you're in. And him realizing that and speaking that and writing that down helps him traverse to his true universe.
But he didn't actually write it down this time. That's actually one thing that he changed. He tried to. He made sure it was more of a feeling, which is what Amanda kind of told him. She gave him the cheat code, like without telling him, like, "Yo, nigga, I've been fucking doing this whole shit on my own. Like, you really haven't been doing nothing. I've been picking the spots. I knew this a long time ago, but you're not gonna give me no dick, so I guess I gotta go ahead and go on about my business, man." This is a universe where it's very easy for me to take on an identity. And it's like
she kind of
no carbon in the air, and goddamn people are nice.
She kind of ended up in the perfect universe. Like, there's no better universe for Amanda. Like, her Amanda, like, has gone missing, which
I bet you Ryan has gone missing too.
Yeah,
no,
probably.
her Amanda's dead.
Well, her Amanda's dead.
Her Amanda dead.
And so, like, her Amanda has been missing for 2 years, right? Because, like, that's how she can.
Okay, let's say she's been missing for 2 years. That means 2-box theory, which is what I was saying last week as well. 2-box theory is, for y'all who are new, shout out to all y'all who are watching on all the platforms. We are at like 36 right now, hovering around in that area. Man, go out and share it with somebody. Like, share it, retweet, whatever you got to do, man. So we can
do those internet things.
Let's get these numbers up, baby. Yeah. Shout out to all y'all. But yeah, 2-box theory is Ryan 1 was sent to this perfect universe. Now Amanda 2 has been sent to this other universe, to the same universe, I should say. And we know there's a Ryan within that same universe. I mean, excuse me, a Jason within that same universe.
Yeah.
So I posited last week that one Ryan would go to that perfect universe as Jason and try to create the box, because he knows exactly what you need to do. He studied Jason's information. All he needs to do now is just create it. Yeah. And it probably is easier in this universe because of the advanced technology that we see. Because we know now that it is in the exact same frame of time. Everything that's happening is happening in the exact same space at the exact same time. So that just tells you that when this is a way more advanced, like the perfect world is a way more advanced world than what Jason 1 is dealing with, or even Jason 2, Jason Todd.
Yeah. Like so, it definitely has like implications for a lot, which is like I cannot imagine them wrapping this entire story up in 2 episodes, but we'll see. What am I looking at right here? The box A and the box B, because is this like a real like visualization of a theory?
Is this the 2-box theory? I was just kind of guessing, because you're talking about like he could either settle for one side where he has a set income, or then he can settle for box B where he can make so much more or end up flat out broke or whatever.
Well, so
is that kind of like the same type of circumstance?
Kind of
it's not what we were talking about, but it does kind of like fall into the same like multiversal theory of just like, like,
in this situation
we can try for something better, but there's no guarantee that that's going to be
that is exactly
like they work out,
right. So that is the theory, that's the theme, I should say, of the show. That is closer in line with the theme of the show. My theory, 2-box theory, is within the show's theme as well, which is now because Jason Todd, Dick Jason, took Jason 1 to his world and took over Jason 1's world, and then moved around what we think, and I've posited that there's multiple Jasons that he's fucked up their lives. He's had to get it right a couple of times. Like a serial killer don't go out and just be a serial killer. Like he practices. He or she practices. They practice stalking people, and then they get into assaults, and then they move their way up intentionally, like a basketball player would learn how to get his game up, right? And I think Jason Todd, by creating all these moving all these pieces around, has now made it to where a second box has to be created. As soon as he sealed his box, a second box then had to be created, because the box is in superposition.
Right.
So if the box is in superposition, it can't not ever exist. And if you try to like basically destroy the box and then put the motherfucker who help you create the box to another dimension with another you, it's only inevitable for those two to then engage each other, because we've realized is in every universe, every Ryan helps Jason build the box.
Yeah, and
so there's nothing that you can avoid. Like, so if you're sticking to the things that Jason Todd has told us about the box, then there's no way. Like, he's breaking his own rules. He's avoiding the inevitable.
Right. Yeah.
And so it still links up to that Schrodinger's cat situation too. Because it's still not being observed. That's pretty. Man, I should watch this show.
Yeah,
it's
the
crazy.
Schrodner, because that's how I bring it back. Because my theory is because the Schrodner box situation, like you said, hey, we don't see the second box, but that doesn't mean that the second box is not there, because we also haven't seen them make the second box.
Right. Yeah, like there's a lot of implications of what could happen because there's a lot of just like empty threads. I'm surprised there's so many loose threads.
Hand me a beer. I need a beer out of that. I'm tired.
I'm surprised there's so many loose threads this late in the season. So I'm excited to see how this is all going to wrap up. And guys, if you guys are actually watching Dark Matter, please leave it in the comments. What do you think is going to happen in these last 2 episodes? Or if you haven't watched it, are you intrigued? Does this make you
did we make you want to watch it?
Does it seem like
that's what? No, fuck all that. Did we make you want to watch it?
I get.
No, we're gonna be a little cocky up in here. Did we make you want to watch it?
But let's move on to our next topic of the night. We're going to be talking about the season premiere of The Boys. That's right. The Boys are back in town. We are talking about the season 4 premiere. A lot has gone down. If you guys watched that recap that Amazon Prime put out, it's just like a series of body parts exploding. Guess who just got back today? But what did you think of the premiere? Like, any initial thoughts on the season 4 premiere while I go take a piss?
Oh, that was great. I thought that the season premiere was fucking jacket. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'm starting that. It's new. I'm starting that.
Fucking jacket.
Yeah, jacket is awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Jacket is awesome, right?
That's interesting.
Women jacket, who's jacket. Everybody.
I like jumpers. I like jumpers rather than jackets. Yeah.
If I said this show was jumpers, that's what you mean? Say like, oh man.
Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, actually.
Or you say fucking jumpers. This episode was fucking jumpers.
Jumpers.
No, I think I like jacket. I think fucking jacket is fucking awesome. Put it in the comments.
We learned
is jacket too much, or does it work? Let me know.
It might work. I think it works. I think we can make that shape. But anyway, I think this hashtag jacket.
Hashtag jacket.
like a jacket, right?
Of course.
Okay. Because I mean, you know what?
Hey, this is that kind of. I just want to point out that this is a very
it's a very mature show.
It's a very mature
show. It's a very mature
but anyway, we start out basically like right out with Homelander. My favorite scene so far in all 3 episodes was Homelander peeing without touching his dick in a like presidential stand. And then he's a gray hair on his pubes. I'm gonna tell you something. As a man who's getting some grays in his beard, you know, I have not yet found a gray pube, and I can imagine how it would be if you're like a superhero and you found a gray pube.
Right,
it's a little devastating. It's a little different,
especially if you're a Homelander. Fuck.
Right, like especially if you're a psychopath and you're, you know, insane and you're a serial killer. Like, I don't know what that does to a serial killer, like getting a gray hair on your dick.
Confronting your own mortality and viewing it through the eyes of your son too. Like, am I being replaced right now?
Actually, you know, and that's, you know, a good part of like the what is it? Not theology, but anyway, like the son always replaces the father. Like the son kills the father. You know, I don't know. It's European shit. Like, why y'all killing y'all daddies? Like, that's kind of actually. Let's talk about that. Y'all sit on my couch, man. White folks, why y'all killing y'all daddy? Put it in the comments, white people. Why are you killing your daddies? You know, come on.
I mean, yeah, it is really interesting, like what they've done with the father son stuff with this. I'm back to get
Roll Tide.
Sorry, no,
but yeah, let's talk about the beginning of the episode, because like a lot of
I talked about my favorite scene, by the way. It was the hair, the gray hair pew.
That's your favorite of the 3 episodes. All 3 episodes, that's your favorite scene.
Yeah, because it's setting up how fucking insane he's about to be this season.
Yeah, it's definitely very emotionally evocative. Yeah, like he's confronting his mortality. It's very like it's a great visual storytelling. You don't need any dialogue.
We didn't have to see his dick. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's like one of the few times in the show you don't see a dick.
Right. Why not?
But this season starts off after Butcher he misses his opportunity to kill Homelander using Soldier Boy, so he attempts to get Ryan back on his side and correct his mistakes in the season. Meanwhile, Homelander seeks out a new ally as he struggles to come to terms with his own mortality. This is the season premiere, the Department of Dirty Tricks. We do also see that like Butcher is kind of on the outs with the boys. He sort of started the boys. He came up with the name that Jeffrey Dean Morgan sort of chastised later on in the episode. But he's kind of on the outs. And like, how do you feel about just like the dynamic of the boys in this season, where Mother's Milk is kind of confronting Baby Quaid, where he like Baby Quaid is the only person on the team who still wants Butcher around. Do you still want Butcher part of the boys, or do you feel like he's a liability at this point?
Butcher is the boys, first of all. Baby Quaid, shout out to Baby Quaid. He's smashing what's her name?
Claudia.
Claudia.
Yeah,
he's shout out to him. As a catch for him. Say something, man.
Which is like strange, right? Isn't it? Like I feel like because you have to like act as a you have to like act like you're in love with this other chick while you're doing scenes with this other chick. It's just kind of like an interesting dynamic, I think.
Say something. It's not hard.
They're actors.
It's not hard to act like you like fine ass bitches. Like
yeah.
It's 2 fine ass women. Oh, what a world. I have to try to pretend like I like
it. Man, my life is so hard.
It's fun. Honestly, I find it harder to not fall in love with every single co-star that you have. Like, it's like, now I'm supposed to pretend I'm in love with Emily Blunt this year.
Why do you think Brad Pitt been through so many relationships?
Curse my parents.
I tell you, it's harder for people. I'm just saying, y'all know, seriously, this is a sad story. Pretty people, we have a hard time. Like, people always want to, jump us. And then pretty people always want to jump pretty people. It's a hard world we live in.
It's a hard time out here, Daddy.
I need hard times. Stop. Go ahead.
But no. I'm just curious how you felt. I'm curious how you felt about just like you're right. He's definitely gonna abuse that.
No, I told you I was 9. The question goes to 9 is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, I actually, you're talking about Mother's Milk. He's the leader of the boys now. I feel like he should be a bit more competent. I think like he's battling with some OCD things, and let me pull that up because also people have been like fucking like acting weird on Twitter because he shaved, and I don't know why he did, and he lost some weight too or whatever. I know, and I don't know if that's going to be. Is that the Ozempic? Is that the?
No, it's not. I gotta answer those questions. You go ahead and get your point. Finish your point.
Is it Gen V? Is it bought? Like he's got the chemical? He injected himself. It's not okay. But no, I think I was expecting a little bit more competency from Mother's Milk, and we're going to definitely get into that, especially with the 3-episode run where he just seems like he's just like manufacturing like failure after failure after failure, and
Agreed.
we haven't really been seeing them do a great job. Or I guess we haven't seen like any major soup takedowns that Mother Milk has orchestrated himself with the boys.
Not intentionally. Like nothing has gone according to plan. Like they're in their covert mission, or what was it, their what do they call it when you're just watching?
Oh yeah, their
surveillance.
reconnaissance. Yeah,
reconnaissance. I like that. Put that on the
Sense.
But yeah, they're
Matthew reconnaissance.
It's Frenchie. By the way, me and Frenchie got the same haircut this year. I'm not. When I was watching that, I was like, oh man, me and Frenchie got the same burst fade. We got the same burst fade. That's what's up.
Okay.
I was very.
I'm letting you get your shit off, nigga. I'm
letting live Frenchie reaction right here,
bro. You're not getting no hate over here, dog. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to. This your world. I'm just trying to live in it, baby. That's it.
But yeah, like what happens next on this series? Let's talk about it. So,
sorry. Go ahead. No, because I was gonna give the Ozempic explanation. It's not Ozempic.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Mother's Milk because people are freaking out on the internet about his weight loss.
Yeah, it's not Ozempic, y'all. So what it is he did some kind of like blood test where it told him like all of the foods that he shouldn't be eating. Like, so we're all from indigenously, we're all from somewhere, right? Like we're not all from America. Everybody who's in France ain't all from France. You know what I'm saying? Like over tens of thousands of years type shit.
Yeah.
And so
people travel.
Genetically, you have certain foods that you're supposed to eat according to where you're from type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That because like when you eat other shit, it can kind of maybe affect you differently.
Right.
Because of what genetically you're used to eating. So you put a high sugar diet in your body. For some people, that might not affect them. But for some other people, it give you a diabetes or just other types of issues.
Right.
So anyway, he took a blood test that told him like all the kind of shit that he's supposed to be eating. And he, adhered to it and he lost a lot of weight. But he's still a big ass dude. But he's just like lost a lot of weight. And now his skin's better. If you actually think about it, if you show like a side by side, he looks better.
He looks fucking great. He still looks incredible.
But people are scared. Yeah. And they played on that in this episode, in the episode 1 when Mikiko, Kamiko, when Kamiko brings him the little hors d'oeuvres, and she's like, "You need to eat."
Right. Yeah.
And Frenchie's like, she's like, "You not eating?" Frenchie's like, "You ain't eating enough. You need to eat some food."
Yeah, that was a weird moment. I was like, "Why are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking?"
But that's But so they play it on that because like obviously it looks crazy.
Yeah,
how different he is. So let's just go ahead and get it out of the way before it becomes a thing on the internet. And they were late.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, he definitely looks slimmer. He's always been like way more buff, but like again, everybody has different body chemistry. You got to watch what you eat.
Run us down run us down. Yeah, no, I'm agree. I agree with you. But run us down from there where you was about to go, because I didn't want to trip you up too much, because I just was wanting to make sure I got that explanation out there.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, like we definitely. I just kind of want to talk about like these 3 episodes as a whole, honestly, because in my brain it's all kind of jumbled together. There's a lot of shit going on.
And we got 10 episodes to talk about this motherfucker.
Yeah,
we can definitely cook on other episodes a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm
if need be.
I'm very curious how you guys feel about the sort of platonic familial love triangle between Homelander, Butcher, and Ryan, because Ryan seems like he's very conflicted. He feels an emotional attachment to his father, Homelander, and he wants to do what he says. Basically, he wants to do what his father says. But at the same time, he realizes that he is morally very different than his father. Like he's starting to realize how he doesn't react the same way that his father does to these very real emotional moments.
No one
and
does.
he's
No
and
one
as
does.
much of a son of a bitch as Butcher is, he feels more emotionally connected to him. Like he's despite all the things that he's gone through with him. How do you feel about this emotional triangle between these three? And do you feel like Ryan will eventually move more towards Butcher's side and become the good person that he seems like he is? He seems like deep down he's a good person. Or do you think that he'll eventually be infected by Homelander's weirdness? Bill, I'll let you go first.
I know what happens at those deep breaths are like, I know they seem dramatic.
It's very
right.
Yeah.
It's just like, I know. So for this situation specifically, I know what's going to happen. I know how this is supposed to end. And they've done a lot of things to change up how the ending would be from the comic book. Like they've moved far away enough from it where you feel like you won't see it coming. But I mean, ultimately they have to do the same thing to a certain degree so that they can actually end the show, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to talk about this series in general, but Homeland, I'm gonna stay away from the Homelander thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay away from Homelander because they changed so much and I know so much about what the deal is. I want to talk about Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, so talking about Ryan and Butcher.
I know. I'm just saying I'm gonna try to stay away from Homelander.
Yeah.
For the entirety of this series.
Right.
Okay. But with Ryan, I'm like, it's at a certain point, I don't think he realized those feelings about Homelander until the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
Seems like he's trying to ride or die with Dad till the end of episode 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until he threw a nigga into a wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
episode
kind of
2, right?
Because like in the episode 1, he kind of goes along with humans are our playthings and for our amusement. It's like, okay, yeah,
for us to
I forgot.
kill.
Thank you, Dad.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, like it does seem like he's going along with a lot of things, but he's resistant only after he kills the guy.
Well, not only after he kills the guy, and his dad brings him a milkshake. And he's like, hey man, don't be so sad. Next time, I'll let you kill the guy by yourself. And it'll be fine. And he's like, what?
What?
What? Like, did you just say? What did you say? 9. How do you feel about this love triangle, man? Where do you? Or I'm interested in where you think it's going.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty interesting. I thought we were going to see Ryan like really turn to the dark side, and again, it's only 3 episodes in. We're probably still going to get a little bit of that, later in the season, just because like how the last season ended with him seeing this dude's head being lasered off, and him just like kind of having that like wry little smile. So I was just like, oh no. So I thought he was going to be like right out the gate, out the season, a lot bigger of a problem. But it's kind of difficult right now to see where it's going to go, just because we already know that his mom was was his like presence of like, if there's anybody in the world that I really care about, it's my mom, right?
Right.
So, and then at the beginning, I'm just talking about outside influences of the triangle right now. At the beginning, when Homelander is having him walk off with what's her face's daughter, I was like, okay, they're going to be a little bit of that forming, and then he's going to maybe get influenced to go a little crazy, because it feels like she is just about that action.
Yeah,
right out the front. She's like, okay, y'all aren't supposed to be here. And so Hall's just like, okay, is she going to influence Ryan and they are going to start doing some weird, evil teenage shit together?
I'm glad
or
that you
something
brought
like
that up because this scene right here, before Butcher asks her to leave, or when Butcher asks her to leave, she pulls out her phone and starts texting somebody.
Yeah.
And then right here, yeah. And then Homelander just pops up. So I think that she's fucking informing Homelander, like, and I think it's episode 2 or episode 3 where Homelander actually accidentally kills all the ice skating people.
Oh yeah. I think it's episode 3.
Yeah. Olivia was there as well, and then Homelander showed up. He wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
Homelander.
This is translucent. This little diamond. I don't like. I'm sorry. I'm just got. But is this a translucent type of homage, like the anti-diamond thing?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I can't see it that well.
Hold on, we have to blow it up on our screen here. What's it say
right here?
Just remove all.
It says remove jewelry.
Getting word. Oh, okay.
But like it's got the anti. I don't know. Sorry, I just went off topic. But
Easter egg.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
In this type of show, yeah. No, what was I saying? What was the topic?
You were saying that possibly she was in communing with Homelander.
Yeah. So I think we've had Homelander show up in a few places where he wasn't expected in this season, and you can only do that with, like, a mole. And I think Olivia might be the mole getting promised that she can be in the 7 with Ryan, and she's going to be able to date Ryan, and she's also the one who got her powers. And like you said, she seems to be with the shits. She seems to be a little bit more like, yo, I'm fucking with it. Fuck all these motherfuckers.
But he did say something like very interesting. When he with this triangle or whatever, he did say something very interesting later in either episode 2 or something where he's like, fuck all of this beef stuff. I know that my mom loved Butcher so much, so I think that he's going to be able to, like, maybe that will also be his, like, motivation to go against Homelander, or like pushing so much against Homelander. But after the mom was out of the picture, I was like, okay, it's kind of like, Ryan can go either way.
Yeah. Especially when Butcher talked crazy to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think it's one of those situations that we're dealing with where it's like love will prevail. The greater good will overcome, the evil. The light will outshine the dark, right? Because, or people will tell you who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like old grandmama style. People gonna tell you who they are, and when they tell you, you better listen. Because in this situation, Homelander is showing Ryan who he is, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. And because of that, Butcher and Ryan become closer. Like we get this the moment in episode 3 where Ryan like leaves. I can hear it.
Yeah.
So sorry.
You're on your Joe Budden was like, I feel like.
I'm sorry. I'm on my Joe Budden shit today, y'all. It's like it's not together for some reason. It's weird. I don't know, man. Shut up.
Love prevail.
Be on my Joe Budden shit for real. Shut up.
But yeah, it is interesting, especially in that scene with Butcher and Ryan, where Butcher does get like more vulnerable than he has been in the entire series, where he really just breaks down how he feels about Ryan and the way he kind of like shoot him away like old Yeller in the last season, and his motivations behind doing that. Nine, what did you feel about just that scene and just like him throwing away the poison cookies that Jeffrey Dean Morgan gave him, and everything with that scene between Butcher and Ryan? Do you feel like that's going to be a cornerstone with Ryan's
Threw away the pedo cookies,
emotional arc?
The Diddy cookies, the Cosby cookies. Yeah, no, it was just so interesting because like I feel like Jeffrey Dean Morgan was right, you know.
Mysterio was right.
He Mysterio was right. But no, he let's see here. He just was kind of expected, I think. I was like, I don't know if they're really going to go through with this right now, just because, you know, like how, like, because I feel like if Ryan went missing, then Homelander is just going to just destroy the world, right? There's nothing that could happen other than that. So maybe he is going to be somewhat conflicted or pushed in a way where he's going to be like digging those cookies out the trash or something. What's up, Buddha Cafe? And what's up, y'all? We got like 50 people watching across all platforms. Thank you very much. We're getting live with 1080p.
Let's go let's get the next 46. Let's get the next 36. Come on, let's go.
Let's turn it up. And I just thought it was interesting because like actually watching Butcher navigate this situation and knowing that like Ryan has hurt someone, because that's like the type of shit that he hates so much, and the way that he was able to actually navigate that situation, I'm not sure if it's just because he's dealing with his own eventual mortality, that he's a bit more compassionate, or if it's just because it's his son, or even a mixture of the two. But either way, I think it was a very great plot point for how these characters are going to develop throughout the season.
Yeah. Don't you steal my man.
Well,
first of all, you gotta relax, man. That clearly says right there, Bill. Yeah. That's
I read the teleprompter wrong. I apologize. You say you're but no, I do want to talk about like one of the more interesting. Like actually, first I want to say
Buddha Cafe says,
"Thank you for
Buddha Cafe says I haven't seen this episode or the episodes, but I'm okay with spoilers tonight.
Consensual spoilers.
Let me tell you something, sir. You gonna get these here spoilers, but not too crazy, because you know what? We're not concerned about those kind of details. We're concerned about like where are we going from here? What does this mean?
Yeah.
And how do you get pink eye?
Definitely want to get into the pink eyedness in a bit. But I want to ask you guys, like, real quick, how you feel about first of all, is definitely a lock for nomination for best cameo for the Drunkies next year. Will Ferrell popping up.
What about old dude that we saw in the from White Castle?
Oh yeah, that's
from Harold Kumar.
He wasn't really he was a cameo to us because we recognized him.
What?
The pot dealer from White Castle is like the lawyer, is Baby Quay's lawyer in this episode, in this premiere.
It was amazing. I'm the only one who noticed it.
But yeah, Will Ferrell, he shows up in this fake movie that A-Train is doing. It's like movie. This I thought
it was based on a true story.
It's not too blindsidey. It's not. What's the problem with that?
It's finding Forrester meets Blindside, where it's just like this weird white savior movie.
What's the one with Keanu Reeves?
Hardball.
I
actually like that white savior. That's a good white savior movie.
That's a great white savior movie. You know why it's a great white savior movie? Because he's Japanese. God damn it.
And also, he sucks.
It's not
he actually sucks in that movie.
Like
the only reason it works out because he got so extremely lucky.
It's like he's a terrible person who black kids saved him. That's why that movie works. Yeah. Nigga, that's like a real hood movie. Like,
we go into the ship. We go into the ship.
Yeah. Future doesn't hold up episode. But
we gotta get Prim to do one. Who's like talking? Who can we get next to do?
We got to get him back on. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But what did you guys think of just like I'm like this scene is very, very funny, obviously, but it's a
The pink eye scene.
No, we're still talking about Will Ferrell. Where
pink eye scene was crazy.
I'm
joking. I'm joking. I'm gonna stop.
But yeah, like we do get the scene that just sort of like sees where A-Train is in his life, in this crazy arc that he's had, because we've seen him be a super villain. Like he's the inciting incident for the show where he just runs through baby. Right. Girlfriend.
He's Captain Mayhem.
Yeah. But now we're seeing like just like the grays in his morality, where he's just like, man, I could be better. I've been so bad for so long. I do actually have an opportunity to actually be a superhero. And what did you guys think of just like his arc throughout these few episodes where he's helping out the boys, and maybe he turns into one of the boys later on? Nine, how do you feel about A-Train's arc these 3 episodes?
No, I think it's pretty great. I think what's going to have to happen is that he's going to have to actually make a decision, because he's been kind of doing that all along. But we understand that he's in a very hard spot that he's not really able to get himself out from. And if it wasn't for the fact that he got a new heart, then I think he would have like died like last season, right? Or would have been out the game.
Allegedly, he's still not as powerful as he was when we first started the show. Even with the new heart, it's like I want to pop your shit, like you still could die.
Yeah,
right, exactly. But he's still, a bit more. He's playing a bigger role, I think, because that he's able to actually like run for a little bit, right? So I think he's going to have to make a decision, and we're going to see that he's going to he better switch over to the boys' side. I think that's definitely going to happen. But I would be surprised if he survives until season 5.
See, this is what I'm talking about, man. See, Film Age come in here. He ain't said nothing the whole time. Then this motherfucker hit us with a goddamn paragraph. You see all that shit right there?
He was thinking about what he's gonna say.
Shout out to Film Age, man. What's happening, brother?
He says, "This is probably my favorite season. This scene with Will Ferrell plus Sister Sage. I love this level of satire. A-Train is probably going to have a monumental superhero moment that's going to shake everyone." Absolutely.
Yes,
And then A-Train is not as powerful, but he can be if he starts taking the juice. And it would be pretty interesting if he has to like take the juice again just to like actually get that superhero moment, and that's like
interesting.
A full circle. I
feel like he's gonna die. I think this is well. I don't know if he'll die this season. We got, like, I announced it on the Bantha Bunch show on Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, that this will be the second to the last season. Season number 5 will be the last season. They are done after 5 seasons.
Yes, this is the 70 last episode. 70 last season.
Right. So what we have to do is start thinking about how we're getting closer to the end of this story, really. You know what I mean? What were you?
I
want to know. It's probably more interesting than what I was going to say. What are you?
I'm not trying to cut you. Mr. Anti-Idiotic said in the chat. So about my last chat, he's very much wanting us to talk about Bastion versus.
I thought he was talking about. I thought it was. Who is Bastion? But I thought he was talking about this right here. He said, I didn't watch Madam Web. I will never ever that shit show. And then the very next thing is saying, I'm planning to watch Madam Web. It's like, man, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I was say, yo, I'm rolling.
Are you gonna address that? What's up?
I'm rolling a blunt after that.
Yeah, first of all, Mr. Anti-Idiotic, that's a very good decision. You should definitely watch Madam Web.
He
Like-
said, but look, he said about my last chat. Look, don't watch Madam Web, nigga. Goddamn. So how much else do you want us to say? We've been telling you for goddamn 2 months. Do not watch Madam Web.
But I think he might have been talking about Bastion versus Homelander.
Who the fuck is Bastion?
Wasn't he the villain in X-Men 97?
Nigga. That's what Bastion's getting for me. Like, who?
We're gonna mega crossover.
No, it might be Bastion. What is that dude's name? Yeah, the purple dude.
Yeah, the purple cyborg.
Yeah, that is
human.
Bastion.
Yeah,
Sebastian. You know what? You right, Mister. You right.
Yeah, like I mean, Homelander is a better villain in my opinion.
No, you're talking about them going against each other.
Oh, in a fight.
I don't know. There's not a lot of context behind this statement here.
I would say
I'm making my context. I just made the context.
We also we should move along because we need to talk
Yeah,
about
so much.
2 other shows to go.
But I would say that Homelander, most of his fights in his life have been orchestrated through stunt coordinators and directors, so he probably doesn't know actually how to fight. We actually saw that in last season.
If someone who is as strong as him fights him, he doesn't know how to fight. So because his daddy was whooping his ass,
He's whooping
and Butcher was whooping his ass, but he is stronger than both of them, it seems. So, so we do know from that last episode that hey, man,
kind of just brute
you
strength.
need to have somebody who know kung fu, also got the same kind of strength.
Did y'all realize that? Why can't I Newman? That Newman was like very resilient like that. I did not know how resilient she was.
Oh yeah, you mean like she's
taking bullets straight to the dome.
Yeah. But if your power is blood, like I thought about that, like if your power is blood, right? White blood cells are the ones that heal you, right? And then the red blood cells do whatever they do. And then so you know what I'm saying, even how your bones fuse back together, it has your blood. So she basically Wolverine. Like blood.
Well, like that's what I thought was interesting because she didn't do like the Kimiko thing where she like reforms back together. It was just kind of like bam, nothing's happening
because your white blood cells block a lot of things too. So like, and if she's in control of her blood in the way that we've been led to believe since Gen V, because Gen V is what really was giving us the confirmation about that. We just thought she could pop niggas' heads.
Yeah,
because that's what she's done with it,
right? But
apparently it's more extensive than that.
Yeah, that shit was very funny. I'm just gonna play this little clip. I can't play lots of clips because we're gonna get fucked. But
hey, Vicky, fuck you!
Seriously?
She's just like, hey, Vicky.
Yeah, like I love that moment. It's like I have to be on TV in 10 minutes, you asshole.
Right.
I did like, in the first season.
Sorry, I was hit the wrong button.
In the first season, they did establish that, like, basically, the boys were formed so they could figure out how to kill Soups. So you can assume that most super Soups are like hard to kill, like they're very durable, like they're not they have like pretty much all of them have super strength along with their
some kind of strength
characteristic.
I don't say super strength, but some kind of strength.
some sort of like ultra durability. But I before we move on to our next topic, I really want to talk about my favorite character in this new season, and like
so you just gonna add a topic. No, I'm joking.
One of my favorite character this new season is like very, very interesting, just like how everything is turning out throughout all these 3 episodes. Like she's definitely my favorite, Sister Sage, the smartest person in the world. How did you guys feel about?
I think she meant smartest woman.
Smartest person.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
We all know.
Oh my God.
We all know the Deep is the smartest person in the world. But how did you guys feel about the introduction of this?
You cannot. You owe Peter an apology. I just want you to go ahead and give Peter an apology right now.
Oh, Peter.
You don't be talking about how the Deep is a good person.
Oh yeah, no,
He's out
clearly
here abusing animals.
him and Sister Sage on opposite sides of the spectrum in intelligence.
But they end up hooking up. Opposites attract.
And I kind of want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that because I've heard some very interesting theories about.
I like it. I'm here to hear. Here.
9. How did you feel about this new character, Sister Sage?
I'm kind of in love with her, to be honest. I'm really in love with her. I love an evil bitch that just wants to see what she can do. Because, and especially one that's just like, I'm going to just look at this the most powerful person in the world and then just tear him down.
We couldn't hear you because I was on solo mode.
You couldn't hear him.
Oh, I couldn't hear him.
I was like, why are you talking like that?
You can hear him?
Yes. On yours.
No, I did the solo. So it's like I shouldn't have been able to hear.
Just solo for yours? I don't know.
That's weird. That's a weird goddamn. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
But let's
I like that she's wearing wearing the Palace, Auburn Hills,
That was the moment that I fell in love with her, and I
was just like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
I literally turned to Bill. I was like, she has a Palace at Auburn Hills t-shirt on.
And what did I say to you? Yes.
I'd
already watched it.
I can imagine that. Alex is just like, Bill. And she's just like,
yes.
He was literally on the other side of the room. He's like, she's wearing a Palace. I was like, yes, she is wearing that. She's from Detroit. They said it earlier. She was from Detroit,
and she's trying to create her own.
She looks like she's from Detroit too, though. By the way,
yeah, she's got Detroit vibes. And
Buddha Cafe, we're going to. I'm going to star your comment. We're going to get to that a little later.
Yep. Okay. Roll time.
And she's trying to start her own.
You can keep talking through the drop. I'm gonna just stop.
It's hard.
It's hard, man.
Oh my god! Come on, man. Be professional.
Okay. Yeah. Next time someone interrupts.
I interrupt myself. I trust me. Like this show is absolved of anybody interrupting anyone else. Okay. Yes, it happens, and you keep going.
Yeah.
Just go.
Okay. I really like this character, like how smart she is, and like how that's her superpower. She doesn't have any like super strength or anything like that, but somehow that makes her in like sort of endearing to Homelander. Like, how did you feel about her relationship with Homelander and how she gets brought into the 7 9? Like, did you feel like this made sense, especially with her rejecting her call to action initially?
Yeah, I because it's hard to talk about her introduction without talking about the scene that came before that, where like Homelander's just like, I need someone that's not going to do all of this bullshit for me.
Right.
Like, I need someone with actual ideas, right? Not even like trying to recognize the fact that he's the one that completely fostered that work environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
We at NerdsAtNite and the Drunk Banthas, we don't have an HR department, but we know not to treat people like this.
Yes.
Our meetings do not go like this.
Didn't he laser Noir's head off?
No, he literally disemboweled him with his own hand.
Oh yeah, he disemboweled him. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
So it's anyway, so that's the environment that you set up here.
Or I literally may have to get my dick sucked. Like,
yo,
that is
crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He told Deep to suck A-Tray's dick.
And it's funny because like knowing how frustrated Homelander is with the situation, like you can read his body language. He's like, I'm gonna test this out just to see if these fucking idiots do this. I know he's playing it, but also, but like with these two characters, the emotional trauma that they've had to go through for the past few years
from him.
Yeah, from him. Like, how many people has he killed in front of him? How many despicable things has he asked them to do? just for his pure enjoyment. This doesn't seem outside the realm of like
it's not outside the realm. But I love what you said there, because like you can kind of tell like when we're watching it that he's like playing it up, or like, you know, the situation doesn't match and he's not actually like doing this.
right.
Because and shout out to Anthony Starr for like being that type of like, we're able to read his body language. I think that's like really great, because if we look at like the way that he kind of like what's that blind spot or whatever, when he was just kind of like, you know, egging him up or whatever, he's just like, oh wow, everything that you're so you can see me basically with your ears, and then bam, he's just like, I was like, oh my god, that's so brutal. But that felt way different in the way that he was acting compared to you know, with that
I feel like he still would have killed both of them if it hadn't happened. If either one of them had acted like they were going to do it, even though he was fucking with them, I think if the Deep had decided to grow some nuts in that moment, he was dead.
Yeah.
Like he, but he was trying to still make a point, because in his crazy psychopathic mind, he still would have tried to make a point. Like,
and,
you know, oh, y'all don't listen to me, but look, this motherfucker trying to stand up. You cannot fucking try me.
Right.
Like he's insane, so you don't know what to do.
Yeah. It's like like everything seems rational when an insane person is at the helm of the wheel.
Just one last thing before, because again, this is all just kind of like a little bit of a prequel. Well, I just love Ashley's face here when she's just like so fucking ridiculous. She's like, yes, I want to see this bullshit. But
suck that cock, and I'm about to watch. Oh my!
The only time she
like to see A-Train's cock, because oh my god, yes.
She's just seeing like how evil she actually is, because it's not happening to her. Is like, I was just like, oh, Ashley, you are not a victim in this situation at all. You wants to be here so much, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. She's also,
but again, very short in leading it back to Sage. I love that her character exists, and little bit of a theory. I do think that like you know, she's the way that she like is kind of like grooming the Deep to like nut up to Ashley is something that she's fostering to do for Homelander too. I mean, like, to turn people against Homelander, like, you know, laying this little plot line. I think that's what's going on right there. Brilliant character.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, we're gonna take Bill's gonna take a quick break. But I will say, like that would be interesting. Like exploring that stuff. Sorry, I'm. But
you don't have to worry about what I'm doing.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, or like more so?
I'm really enjoying this season so far. Like I like, again, Sister Sage is one of my favorite characters in this this season. Athelia says Sister Sage speaks to my inner instigator. And Fifth Bantha says, I wonder if there's a way A-Train could run fast enough to run through Homelander. That's an interesting question, because like one of the things I was thinking that like this season may end with, somebody said earlier in the chat, I think that A-Train, if A-Train turns to a good person, he would die trying. I feel like we might get like a Homelander versus A-Train as far as like speed contest go.
I would love to see like Homelander trying to chase down A-Train by air, and he's just like running as fast as he can. That would be really cool.
That'd be really
like the destruction that would ensue.
Because like one of the like comic booky fan things is like Flash versus Superman, who is faster. Now that it'd be really cool to incorporate that in this series, but just like in a more like violent, visceral way where they're actually trying to like kill each other. It's like a fight to the death. But like I'm very curious how that's going to turn out. And it's like Sister Sage is a character. One of the things I like so much about her and her relationship with Homelander is she seems like she's the smartest person in the world, but like she's also like not the most moral person in the world. So it's interesting seeing that character just like lean towards doing these awful things just because she wants to see her ideas transacted like in real life rather than just like sitting around reading books and watching trash TV, eating tacos. Like I think that's a really cool motivation for her character. And also like let's just spend like maybe just quick 90 seconds talking about the craziness of the theories of what's going on with her. Because like we see her hook up with the Deep, and we see the ominous, bloody metal sharp object nearby. I've heard a lot of things, theories of what could be going on with her. Maybe she stabbed herself in the brain to make herself dumber, and that's why she's watching trash TV. And
I love that theory.
Dumb person. So that's what your theory is?
Yeah, I love to subscribe to that theory just because it's like so interesting to me that like that's the only way that she could turn it off, in the way that, you know, her mind is always just racing 1,000 miles per second, and and if that's the only way that she can actually like enjoy the little pleasures of life, that is so cool. And then what's the other theory?
The other theory that I heard was that she killed the octopus that the Deep is having an emotional relationship with, who's apparently voiced by Tilda Swinton. I didn't know that.
Oh, really? That's perfect, actually.
You're right. She's great. But I heard that like that's another theory that she killed Tilda Swinton. But I don't know. I don't know how much that serves
her purpose, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, it could. Like, that's the thing. Like, we don't really know. And I think that's like the pretty great part of her character, because she has like these interesting facets, but she also works as a plot device as well.
Yeah, like she has a lot going on as far as like just moving the story along, but also just like having these great character moments, or we can learn more about Homelander and, you know, even the Deep, just like through her experiences with those characters.
Because I get the sense that like we don't really know actually who she is. You know, we haven't really been introduced to her character yet. But we're going to find out exactly what her main motivations are.
Yeah,
it's like going to be very interesting.
Yeah, a lot of mystery behind this character. I'm curious how that is all going to unfold. But guys, let us know in the comments how you feel about this new season of The Boys. Better or worse than previous seasons? Do you think that
this season is terrible?
This season is hilarious.
No, you know what? I just want to say that this season looks promising. Everybody in the cast seems very tight knit, which makes for a lot of give and take, a lot of good give and take. You know, on set you need that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody seems tight knit and like excited to get this season out. You know what I'm saying? So I personally can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Because you see people doing promos and they don't look, they just like, yeah, and it's about this, and it's about that. And we, you know, they seem genuinely excited. So I'm excited to see what twists and turns the boys go through this year.
The boys. Boys. Yeah, like it's gonna be a very exciting season. Cannot wait. We could probably talk for like 3 more hours about this.
I mean, if we didn't have 4 other things to talk about,
Right?
Yeah.
We would talk about
but guys, let us know in the comments how you feel about this season premiere. What are your favorite new characters from this season? And are you excited about
because I did promise that we'll get to Buddha Cafe.
Oh yeah, let's get to that comment. Yeah, I'm glad
that's
we
right.
didn't get to it before
Do
I left.
you guys see
Before I
any
got
signs of the show throttling back on politics and focusing more on story of each hero? I don't see that. Simple.
The comic book is very political, so I don't think that you're gonna see that. Sorry, Buddha Cafe. If that's what you're looking for, I apologize on behalf of Amazon. I mean, like, yeah, we're not. That's not what we're gonna get. I mean, like, I think that.
No, we're trying though. We're trying.
What I'm gonna take that back a little bit. Like, it's always gonna be on the face political because we're in politics. Like, we're dealing with politicians. So, on the surface layer, it'll always have something to do with politics, but on just like kind of like X-Men. You know what I mean? Like on the surface layer, there's always this social economic issue, social political issue. Like, how do we deal with these things? But when we're talking about the characters themselves, yes, I think we're definitely in the next 3 episodes, we're going to get more character-based information, like more character-based focus. Because we're going, like, they dropped 3 episodes at once, and we know like 3 and 4 are usually the lull episodes, or 4 and 5. So that means, the next 2 episodes will be a quote unquote lull, but they definitely will move into the, into the.
And it's kind of funny because, like, I feel like exactly what Buddha Cafe is talking about is, focusing on more story of each hero is actually like the main criticism that I've heard about this season. Like, people are like, I don't give a fuck what like Franchi and Kimiko and Huey's doing right now, or like with their own personal grievances. So who knows? But like I feel like I've seen a lot of people saying like, I just want more of the like bigger scope things going on.
Well, yeah, like one of the like the main theme of this series is arguably absolute power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and like seeing how that translates to
Translations.
Translates to superheroes. Like, we see how CEOs and cops act when they have absolute power. How would that be different when superheroes have that same absolute power?
I'll tell you how it'd be different. Cops actually save people. All of their craziness and maybe a few psychopaths here and there. Cops actually save people.
Right.
Superheroes make cops look like Brian Gumble.
Right.
Like that.
Yes,
like
it's definitely very different. But yeah, like it's interesting. Like the themes of this the show are always prominent, but I feel like if you really wanted to explore individual characters, like maybe we get like more spin-off shows where we get like a Frenchie and Kimiko show, because I would watch the fuck out of that, honestly. I would watch
there are a lot of like side situations with the boys, so they could do a lot of spin-offs. I just don't know if that's what we're gonna get. I have no idea why they're ending it in 5 seasons, but I would be interested to see that, but I'm not asking for it.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, famously, and we will move on to the next topic after this. But famously, Eric Kripke, who ran Supernatural, that show was only supposed to last 5 seasons, but then ended up going 179 seasons.
It's just kind of crazy because I've been told to watch that show, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Walking Dead, yes,
which
is way longer than it needs to. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm very much an advocate of shows like ending when they're supposed to. Like, tell it needs to be told, and push away from the table before you have 3 desserts. So especially
like, since we have Gen V already too.
Yeah. And Eric Kripke's already experienced this where he had one of his shows that lasted way longer than he wanted it to. So like there were a lot of there was like some interview where he's kind of being cagey about the negotiations that he had with Amazon. And some people have speculated that he wanted the show to go on longer, but I think that he wanted the show to end at 5 seasons. It's like I think he was arguing with Amazon. It's like, no, we're not going to make this a 7-season, 10-season thing. We're going to end it when I want the story.
You know what happens with that? But they're not going to pay him more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so if you're not going to pay me more money, then I'm going to go do this other job that I keep getting offered for, but I can't do it because I'm doing 8 more seasons of this shit with y'all. Right. And you're not going to pay me more, and we making way more money. The budget is increased. No, I gotta bounce. That's why you don't see actors signing up for roles with Marvel as big of artists. I mean, they're artists as well, but big as actors as we used to get, because a 10-year contract is a hell of a commitment to make as an actor who you probably want to go in other directions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like this is the perfect transition to House of the Dragon, because this is like what D&D was like. No, we're getting the fuck out of here.
All right. Yes, we're talking House of the Dragon.
That's
season.
You, Alex.
I'm talking. Yeah, it's like we're talking. We're talking House of the Dragon season 2, episode 1. Thank you so much, House of the Dragon, for only releasing 1 episode for your premiere. Because goddamn, we had to deal with dark. We had to deal with Dark Matter having 2-episode premiere. We had fucking.
Your shit's way louder.
Dude, could you imagine getting having Acolyte, like a 3-season, like all of it falling on one
day? Dude, that's what would have happened. That's what would have happened if this was regular cable TV. We would have had all this drama
with the summer season starting. Yeah.
You have to set your DVR to make sure you just can go watch the other later and shit.
The streaming release dates have to be as competitive as like the box office release dates at this point, because they have similar audiences.
Mm-hmm. You want to get your hooked,
but you also can strategize a little bit better. Like, okay, this one's gonna come out on Sunday. We can put shit out on Monday,
right?
Yeah,
or Tuesday or Wednesday, because we know people are gonna be on House of the Dragon.
I remember last season, Rings of Power and House of the Dragon dropped on the same day.
That was the
you shouldn't have done that.
But I want to just say, shout out to them for doing that, because you can go check out the old episodes that we did on the Drunk Banthas channel, where we covered both of those seasons at the same time.
Yeah, that was the first time we started doing 2 shows at once for the podcast.
Yep.
Everyone's like, hey.
Well, it was the first time television was doing it, so goddamn. We might as well fucking try it out ourselves.
Yeah, we had our Swords and Shields podcast during that year. It was pretty fun talking about 2 drastically different quality shows with Rings of Power and House of the Dragon. But yeah, let's talk about.
I liked Rings of Power.
I thought it was pretty good. Like, I thought it was fine for the most part. The beginning and the ending were not great, but guys,
I'm happy it's coming back.
Yeah, me too. Like,
and there's a movie coming.
Let's get a second bite of that apple. See,
I'm not happy about that.
Really. There's a 3rd bite of the apple or 6th.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
It
don't matter.
In House of the Dragon, let's talk about the beginning of this show. At the Wall, Kragan Stark promises Jacaerys Targaryen 2,000 troops for his mother Rhaenyra's forces, because he's obviously trying to build an army for this upcoming war that's going on. There's a lot of shit that's going on in this season. What did you think about this trip to the Wall and this opening, and just basically everything that's happening in this new season, which is the political implications of everything?
Man, political implications. I'm gonna let Nine go first, because I've read the book. I don't want to this.
I feel like you've been very withholding. He's like, I don't want to say too much.
Dog, you have no idea how much shit that I'm trying not to say. And I've been watching people like Heavy Spoilers, and they spoil. He spoils a lot of shit. That's his name of his show. Heavy spoilers.
Yes,
That's not the name of this show.
It'd be ridiculous.
That's not the name of this show, and I'm just trying to, I'm trying to make sure I don't spoil too much, knowing because I don't know what I'm going to spoil because they've changed a lot of shit too.
Yeah, right.
So 9.
Well,
let me see what you think.
I've also I didn't read it. I listened again. LeVar Burton is crying right now because I listened to Fire and Blood, right? This is chronicalizing or whatever.
Yep.
Now I gotta say, with the political intrigue, I think it is definitely spot on. There's so much of this show that I think works so well. I'm just hoping that they do keep the intrigue up. And we could talk, I mean, yeah, about the we'll talk about it by the end of the episode.
Oh, we gonna talk about it.
Yeah, by the end of the episode, because that was actually something I thought was going to not come until like halfway through this season. But yeah, we moved right along. So but yeah, I think all of the character work is great. I think these actors are really in their bag and really embodying these characters. And their motivations are very solid. They're really weird. They're creepy. And again, it's kind of like you can make the comparison to The Boys with the political
aspects.
Do you guys see any signs of the show throttling back on? You can ask this about
both shows.
House of the Dragon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the answer to the second one is more obvious, is that no.
Right. No, right. Yeah.
Throttling up, my guy.
Yeah, throttling.
And, so yeah, to that point, I guess I'll just move a little further, is like this show a little further.
Pivot.
So yeah, I just feel like that's the first Friends reference on this show ever. But if you go back,
we were on a break.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. Oh, we can just get all of them out now and just make up for lost time right now. People not do that. You just see, that's what happened. See, spilled. Just use that right there.
R.I.P. my guy too, by the way.
But yeah, just use that right there. Yeah, use it. Well, it's better than my leg getting wet. But anyway,
producer Penny dealing with this shit.
Oh my god, producer Billy is useless, first of all. But anyway, there was just a little spill here for those who were just listening. But at any rate, I think that the way that this show is going, I told you and Lil Frothy the other day or yesterday when we were watching it, I was like, yo, I just want to say something to y'all right now. And I'm going to say it to y'all too if y'all haven't read the book. Nothing good is about to happen. Nothing good is about to happen for anyone. And so for me, like realizing that this small part, by the way, small part of the book has been made into a television series. It's beautiful to me, first of all. And second of all, the second season the first season at the end, when we covered it, the last episode,
right,
we were talking about it, and I was like, yo, I'm telling you, first episode gonna be crazy. And you can go back and check it out. I was like, the next episode is gonna be this, exactly what happened. And only reason, like Nine was saying he thought it was gonna be a little bit more spread out. Like he thought this was gonna happen a little bit further down. I understand that because of the way that the book is written, but I believe that, and I talked about this last season as well, this book is a third-hand telling of stories that have happened. Right? Second and third-hand telling. And some of the second hands are actually telling the third hands who are actually the ones who are documenting it in the book.
Wow,
right?
It's like 16 walls.
It's like it's a 3-body problem. It's a 3-body problem. So, like I say, is history goes to the victor, right?
Yeah.
But in this scenario, this specific story, there is no victor, because we know from Game of Thrones that this is the end of the dragons.
Right.
Right? So because even if you hadn't read the book and you only watch the shows, we know at least that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was meaning by like keeping up with the intrigue, because we know the outcome. Right.
No, I completely agree. You did a great job, because see, I couldn't have started out like that. Like, my mind is just all over the place. I'm excited. Like, I'm a huge fan of this story, Fire and Blood. I've read all the little sub books and the fucking, all the Game of Thrones little books and stories, and none of them are really as good as this one. And this one reads like a text, like people say it reads like a textbook or a history book. It really doesn't. It reads more, that's a bad example. For people who say that, don't read a lot. I'm just gonna tell you that, because it doesn't really play out that, and Nine listening to it will tell you it's really just like a storybook. It's like you're reading the accounts of somebody who wasn't there when it happened, but he's reading the accounts of someone who was there, and they're reading some accounts of someone else who was there, and then they have other stories that get added into it. So if you haven't read it, I highly suggest you do, because even if you're going to get things spoiled, you won't have it spoiled by the time you get to the end of the season. I can tell you that much, because you start.
It took me forever to listen to it, because I would actually like put it on before like I was going to bed, and I would be like waking up and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what is happening? Hold on, okay. Yeah, because it's like jumping, and I feel like, I think I was actually a little bit surprised, because I was like expecting a bit of a time jump actually, but I don't know why I was expecting that much, but it picks up, I guess the time jump did happen like at the end of last season, I guess.
Right. Yes, it's not unfathomable to have a time jump in this series, because like we had like a 10-year time jump in the middle of the first season. So you would assume that there'd be, like, especially with the implications of war, these things last years and years, more often than not. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that with this new season it would take place years later. But yeah, it just takes place a few days later, apparently.
A few days later.
Ray Ray, as we nicknamed her in the podcast a couple of years ago. She
podcast is sponsored by Raycons.
But shout out to Ray Ray. Yeah, that's our girl though.
Yeah, that's our girl.
Shout out,
Ray Ray.
Shout out to her.
Millie Alcock is still my favorite actor who played this character, but short-lived depiction.
First of all, I want to let you know we team Ray Ray.
We team Ray Ray.
I know a lot of niggas is out
blacks.
Here. We out here with the blacks. Goddamn.
Blacks. I always bet on black. But
shout out to my nigga Hash Mills.
But I did like just like her emotional turmoil in this episode, because she literally only says one line in this episode.
Can you bring that scene? Can you bring that photo back up, or that frame right back up? Because to your point, the dismay that she's in and despair that she's going through, I love it. You know why? Everybody on the internet thought that this scene in the trailer was a funeral scene. But she's got dirt on her face. You stupid motherfuckers. Now they did have a funeral scene, but it wasn't a funeral. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a funeral.
I need to pull up a better shot of that too.
But
because she was like dirty.
I
was like, she been away from home for a while. I feel like.
How did she get so dirty, bitch? Wash your dragon and your drawers, bitch.
Yeah. How to wash your dragon?
Yeah, that's like a specific kind of dirt that just like accumulates from you flying through the air. It's like, oh no, I got bugs and just like
right, yeah,
all kinds of gross shit, growing on me.
Rhaenys was tired too. She said she was tired. So, I'm thinking. The reason I point that out is because like the dirt and Rhaenys being tired is. We've never heard all these things about dragons and how the dragon riders feel. We always heard things about dragons like, mystical creatures, blah, blah, blah. This is the real like Daenerys didn't know nothing about dragons. And she was basically like a mythical god, right?
right.
She's the only Targaryen that we know in the history of Valyria.
Yeah, she was like Jesus.
That was able to just have like she didn't fire didn't affect her. We've had many Targaryens think that would happen to him, and they all died. Her brother thought, well, no, he less believed that was forced upon him.
That was not a choice.
That was not a choice. He was not willing to go through those trials. He was willing to be a Jedi Knight without going through the trials. But yeah, so she's an exception to the rule. What we're seeing now is like how it was, right?
Yeah.
Bloodlines from less than 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So I just think, man.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like do you like her more than Dany?
Yeah.
Yeah,
not because like, I like you more than Dany. Like, I just think that this is a character that's gone through more. Like our Dany wasn't even allowed, thanks to Jon Snow, she wasn't even allowed to live a life that Rhaenys lived. I mean, Ray.
I think the aspect of it's like actually dragons versus dragons, rather than her having like a nuke versus
all the dragons,
anything. Yeah. So I was just like, okay,
yeah,
he actually has to.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
I do personally like Dany a little bit more. Like, even though I don't like how her character ended in that original series, like I feel like I enjoyed her arc and her gaining knowledge of just how to be a ruler throughout that season more. And we'll see how I feel about Ray as the season goes along. But speaking of rulers, I do want to talk really quickly about this really great small council scene that we got with Otto and what's this little boy's name? Little asshole Jaehaerys.
It's so hard to pin down names on
Jaehaerys.
Yes, Aegon brings his young son and future heir Jaehaerys to the small council to begin his training.
Jaehaerys is his grandfather. So Aegon's dad, Jaehaerys, was Jaehaerys's third son.
Okay. 2
of his sons died before that, and then there was just Daemon and him.
Okay. So,
Bill, you're gonna have to be the keeper of names because, like, what the fuck did you just say?
I know some of those words, but that has to be a drop at some point too. But yeah, like
that's a fact.
I did like.
You said it earlier. You said some shit earlier, and I was like, I don't know what that nigga just said.
I did like this scene and just like talking, showing how like that naivete of a young person who wants to do good.
I'm
like,
a young
sort of, even though this guy is clearly a piece of shit. He kind of wants to do good, but he doesn't understand the gravity of like ruling a whole.
No. I heard that earlier today too, and I was like, no, I don't agree with that at all. You know what? Hold on, I got something for you, Alex.
Why you pouring me? I'm right.
No, you might be right, but I think you're wrong as hell. This nigga rapes women. This is what he does. I don't think
he's a terrible person. Yeah,
I don't think he wants to be good at anything. I think he wants to have the perception of being good, and also is fucking up by even doing that.
Yeah.
Sure. Like he trying to give nigga his ghost back. What? First of all, you can tell this nigga ain't got no West Indian family. He ain't got no nigga family. Or he don't pay attention to his
West
Valyrian.
Indies do not. exists in this universe.
Well, he ain't got no nigga family. Man. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
He disowned his nigga family because guess what? You're not giving back no goat.
Yeah.
We're not giving back
He
no
doesn't have
goat.
any sand snakes.
That's goddamn cultural. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's his name? Corlys? Corlys, the black Targaryen dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. His last name's not Targaryen. What is they? They're Valetian.
Valerian.
They're Valerian. They're all Valerian because they come from Valyria.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember his last name. But anyway, Corlys. You know what I'm saying? He don't fuck with Corlys. That's why he want to give back niggas goats.
Yeah.
Or was it sheeps? I don't know.
Yes, it was sheeps.
It was sheeps. Oh,
that was actually a joke in that. He was like, "Oh, you can, we'll give you all your goats back." It's like, actually, it was sheep. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, it was.
I don't give a fuck.
You know what, nigga?
I don't give a fuck.
You know what, nigga? Give me all your sheep. How many you say you got left? Well, give me them too. No, so yeah, we do get an arrogant side of him, and I think that I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, he wants to be a good king," or it seems softer because it's not like Joffrey, but it's like Joffrey was not an example of a king; he was an example of a child on the throne. At least this guy is
big old bitch,
15 years old. Like I think he's an adult at this point in his life, at least. You know what I'm saying? So. Because I think Jason and Luke are like 17, 16, 17,
right.
14,
like
18.
Yeah, I think Joffrey is actually closer to his kids than he is to this dude right here.
Well, I feel like the fundamental
age.
I feel like the fundamental difference between this character and Joffrey is that like Joffrey is just like came from a place of just like anger and fear and just like torture.
Incest.
Like,
torture.
He just wanted to inflict pain on others, and that just what brought him enjoyment. And this character is more of just like a hedonistic kind of character where he just like loves pleasure,
access to excess.
Excess to excess, and that bleeds over to just like the detriment of other people. He's like, I don't give a fuck about like this
busting nuts and bitches.
Yeah, this person's consent. I will be a terrible person to everyone around me for my own.
Just vape people.
Yeah, for my own enjoyment, I will do whatever. But like, also, I think like as a ruler, in just some weird way, he wants like all the best for everybody too. So he just is like, yeah, you can have all your fucking goats or sheep or whatever the fuck. But he doesn't.
Can I have your wife?
But he doesn't. But he doesn't understand all the implications.
My wife.
Of those decisions. So like, I think this is a very interesting character. He's a very big dum-dum, and he's a terrible person, and I'm very excited to see how that's gonna play out throughout the rest of the season. But before
speaking of terrible people,
yes, we have to. But before we move on to our last segment of the show, we
talk about the white worm.
The white worm.
Yeah,
yeah.
The lady.
The lady.
I forgot about her.
So
like, what's
Arik finds the white worm which is the lady in a ship. She's like hiding out on this vessel that washes up on Dragonstone, and she's like, yo, I know Daemon Targaryen. I got all the secrets. And he's like, bitch, I know who you is. And he was
when she says like there was two of you.
Yeah, she was like, nigga, I know who you is too, and you ain't got you one nigga lets. Okay, so what? So we both got shit going on, okay, nigga. So like, let me see Daemon. And he was like, damn, this bitch raw. So he took her to see Daemon. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else now, right? Wasn't like they had court. It's all kind of people up there, right? Like he took her straight to there, and then he was like, lock this bitch up because she turned on them. She's one of the reasons that they were able to usurp the throne. And the way that the Hightowers paid her back was burning her brothel / daycare / rehab center.
Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
That's how she got did. That's how she got did. It's a sad hood story. I'm trying to tell you. She showed up burnt up. She was like the madam.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's a hoe's hoe. She's your hoe's favorite hoe.
And she was one of my favorite actors from the last season too.
She's great.
Really
It's not just because she's beautiful. It's because she acts beautifully.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right. Maybe maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline. But
strong enough for a man? No, what is it? Good enough for a man? Strong enough for a woman?
It used to be strong enough for a man, made for a woman, but I think that
it's changed for.
But they just changed it to strong enough for a woman.
Yeah, strong enough for a woman.
Yeah, it's kind of insulting.
Strong enough for a man, but you know, we let these ladies use it.
For a man,
little ladies.
But we don't like when women stink. So we gonna give you a little break, right?
Cut that bitch off.
But let's talk about the finale of this episode.
Let's talk about something.
Next episode. I mean, the next topic.
It's a long finale too.
Yeah, it's a really long finale. Like it feels like we talked about 3 episodes, even though it's 1 episode. We get these 2 knaves who are hired to kill.
You want me to go through that?
Yeah, please do.
For you, man. So we get introduced to the characters that book readers have been waiting to see so far, which is Blood and Cheese. Now, in the book, these 2 characters were summoned by Damon's what do you call it? His ties to the underbelly of the world.
Right.
And so that's very similar to what we have going on here, right? So they did that with the white worm. I don't think we hear about the white worm. Maybe we do in the book. But at any rate, Damon himself goes. Now that's not in the book, right? Like Damon himself goes, which is kind of G. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what? I should have when I saw him go pull up on the boat, I'm like, I should have known he was the one that did it. Man, I should have known that nigga did it. You know what I'm saying? Because he raw like that. Now, let me tell y'all something now. They set up a little bit, but this nigga raw. So then he, boom, immediately meets Blood. I didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize that until he had changed in the costume and became one of the rat catchers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't realize he was going to be Blood. So now we get introduced to Blood, right?
So woo.
You know what I'm saying? And then we transition over because apparently Blood already has hate for the High Towers, right? And he gonna get paid anyway. So boom, boom, I'm out here winning twice. So then he takes him to Cheese, who's a rat catcher, which in the book he says he knows the passageways better than he knows his own dock. I'm gonna say dock on here, but he says it in the show.
Yeah, it's a weird description. It's like, man, all right, that's weird.
Yeah, and then
People usually say the back of my hand, but you know,
no. Why
would you do?
He's like, I never look at the back of my hand. Look at my cock all day.
I don't know it that well.
That's right. He knows it better than he doesn't know it as well as he knows the catacomb.
Yeah.
You name the first thing you know better than anything.
I imagine him just like looking at Dick. It's like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
There's no sex ed in King's Landing.
He's like,
no idea.
What are you doing?
What's the dude say in Fallout? He's like, he does that weird thing where like
you make my dick grow up. You want to make?
You want to make my cock explode?
Yeah. He says make my cock explode. I say dick throw up.
He's like afraid of
it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't.
Some niggas afraid of pussy now. Some niggas be scared of pussy. Shout out to them niggas. I wouldn't have made it through my 20s if y'all wasn't scared of pussy. I mean, sorry.
Let's talk about the finale.
No, because I was getting to that. Y'all interrupted me, okay? I was getting to that. Because
I admit my role in this.
Okay, look. So look. So then he goes to take him to shit that was through the places that he knows better than his cock, right? So now he gets to the this is one of my favorite parts of this episode, right? It's basically right around here. They get here and Cheese tells Blood, hey, all right, I got you here. This is it. And he's like, oh, nigga, like, you gotta take me upstairs. Like, we gotta go. What is you talking about? You know what you said? We have to kill people. Have we killed people? We need to go kill people. He was like, man, I don't know nothing about up there. I just said that's so I can get the money. You know we can get this money. We already got it. He was like, look, nigga, if you don't take me up here, goddamn it, I'm gonna kill your ass, and I'm gonna go up here and kill they had to.
Yeah, you're like going through all the rooms in the entire palace before I find who I was supposed to kill.
Did y'all think it was weird where they were just like, oh yeah, we're just the rat catchers? I was just like, man, you could really just kind of like walk around the palace like that.
No, I didn't, because there were signs of it. You could see, because I was looking for it. You could see like certain shots that there was like a dude, like a rat catcher, like a dude with a rat catcher.
Oh, like people were
walking around. Like you could see people walking around throughout the episode. Just like trying to catch rats.
You kind of see that shit through like Game of Thrones anyway. Like you see a lot of just like miscellaneous people in the background doing
shit,
crazy shit, because like there's no electricity, there's no like plumbing, there's a whole lot of shit that we just need people just to be doing in the backgrounds.
Yeah,
just like
now that I think about it, like the queen actually laid the path to her own destruction, because she's like, I'm the queen. I'm afraid of the rats. Did the queen his sister? I don't know.
His sister.
Right.
His sister queen.
Yeah.
No. So she is the telepath in the goddamn show, right? She's predicted damn near everything.
I would say that she's more. What's the word that I'm looking for? It starts with a C. Clairvoyant. Yeah, she's more clairvoyant.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm just ignorant. No.
I mean, you knew the word. I didn't.
Come on, man. Y'all don't break kayfabe, okay? Y'all know what kayfabe? Y'all know what kayfabe is. No. What was I about to say? I was about to say something about, what's her name though?
Luna Lovegood.
What?
Is she Luna? Is that Luna?
No, she just reminds me of Luna Lovegood.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
The simple queen, she's not simple. She's actually like, because in the book, I'm just trying to say, like, in the book, if I'm not mistaken, in the book, they kind of make it seem like she's simple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's quiet. She kind of mutters to herself. Like, in the book, they kind of try to make it seem like she's simple, but it seems like since the first season and even up to now, they're continuing that, like, she's some kind of clairvoyant. Like, she's able to see things before they're happening, unlike her brothers, who are one filled with rage and nothing but like, well, I'll get to Aemon in a second, but then the other one, just stupid, right?
And I wonder if she's is she like that because of she's kind of like inherited more of Aegon's like, because he's got the prophecy and everything, and he like knows what's coming.
Well,
I
think it's really interesting because Aegon had the dream, right? But it only passes down every so often to other Targaryens, and usually those Targaryens are like crazy, or those dreams drive them crazy. But it seems like this family actually kind of had a handle on it, because Rhaenyra's dad, Daemon's brother, he was like seeing premonitions and shit, seeing that he would have a son, seeing all kind of other shit. Like, he had premonitions. Got to be careful how you view your premonitions, right? Like, it doesn't like Yoda said shit like
the future is not the future is cloudy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, things can change that influence this or that. So
You know, it's funny. Like I feel like all those Targaryens would have benefited from a little tutelage from Professor Xavier. Just like hone those skills. You know, like figure out how. Yeah,
Maybe they should
Academy
had a conversation. Like a lot of this seems like shit that could have had a just conversation because that's what I was going to say earlier.
No such thing as conversation.
How do y'all feel? Back then? How do y'all feel about the dynamic? I'm going to ask you because you ain't read nothing, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the dynamic of like Aemon accidentally killing Luke, right?
Right.
Because we see that he didn't have control over Vhagar.
Right.
But then he gets back and he's like, yeah, I killed that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or at least he doesn't, you know, he's not like that, but he just lets that be the, you know, the case. Like, yeah, I killed that motherfucker. He's not going around like, yo, it was an accident. I ain't mean to kill this motherfucker, like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, fuck that shit. And then now we're going to have a similar situation where accidental killing has happened. We accidentally killed Crazy Queen's son. So in the book, they like make an ultimatum, right? Like, hey, not an ultimatum. What do they call it? Sophie's Choice.
Yeah.
They made it to where she was like, okay, Cheese was like, hey, okay, choose which one of these kids was gonna kill. Right. She chooses the youngest son, and he's like, you hear that, kid? Or you hear that, boy?
Yeah.
Your mother wants to kill you. And then they kill the oldest son.
Yeah.
Instead. And then leave his ass.
This is what happens in like that. Yeah.
And Alicent is in the room when that happens too. Mm-hmm. Now, my thing is, I always thought that was crazy, because I'm like, yo, how you holding three people down at the same time? It's two
they're children.
No, but then Alicent and the queen, it's 4 people in the room, 2 niggas hold them down.
Women are small and frail.
I'm just saying, so it never made sense to me, but now they're making it make sense in this.
Yeah. Alex hates women.
So how do you feel about this dynamic? Alex does hate women. We all know that. How do you feel about this dynamic of how do you feel about this dynamic of how we're showing that people really don't know what the fuck they doing? You know what I'm saying? We got kids fighting in these wars, like, and everybody is just really on this sense of miscommunication. That's like it's really just built on
this. The scene was low key, unintentionally, really, really funny until it wasn't, because like, you know, there's no social media. Like, it's not like this is like
there's no
this is not phones. Like, yeah, like it's like seeing like
let's start there. Let's start with the internet first.
They don't communicate with smoke signals.
Yeah, like we were saying before, like you have to have like 42 people in the background just to make like some semblance of like normal life go on, like we know it. And like with these characters, they have no idea what the queen looks like. No idea. Even when they're like these big like announcements, weddings and stuff. You're like 2 football fields back, just like hearing somebody.
That's actually not the case with Miriam, because her dad took her all over the place all the time. He's known as the like party king. He's always went to celebrate everything and went all over to the kingdom and like introducing her, because he had already lost so many boys in childbirth that he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and just this is it. Yeah, you it, bitch.
But these but these guys are like clearly not very learned. Like they don't know anything.
No,
they're not very smart. So they have no idea what even like the queen or her kids look like. So it was like kind of,
they probably can't read.
Yeah. Like this like, oh yeah, look for the dude with the eye patch. It's like that's like most of us here.
But at least
everybody's been injured.
I will give them credit. They did go to his room. So I really wonder where Aemon was.
Yeah.
But we know where Catelyn was. Now we ain't talking about it earlier, but Kellen was getting that tot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, she was off.
I actually didn't like that. Actually, I'm going to say that I didn't like this scene, to be honest.
Wait a minute, which scene?
This right here. I thought they kind of blew it with the dramatics, because when you are like kind of listening to it or reading it or whatever, it feels a lot more sinister. I'm not very sure about the I'm gonna have to catch up on like the actual like wording of it, but it just feels like a lot more evil, sinister, and more like in the book, right?
Yes. No,
and I wish that they would have leaned into that a bit more, and they didn't do that thing where it's like a Sophie. Like, why didn't they leave her with that conundrum?
Yeah, like it's because I'm going into it. Me personally, when I watched this scene, I didn't know anything that happened in the book, so like I thought it was like very compelling. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool. And when Bill told me what happened in the book, I was like, "Oh, that's really fucked up." And I'm surprised that, like, even though like everything that happens in this episode supremely fucked up. It's sufficiently fucked up for this series.
Yeah.
But when he said that, like, it just has so many more emotional implications. What could happen generations later for children and for this family, and it made me wonder why, like, Game of Thrones, all franchises doesn't want to go for the more emotionally just like gut wrenching moment. Did you guys? So like that affected you guys upon watching that, right?
Like, I delete this shit.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking.
I was like, first person from Twitch. Anyway, but
you're not invited to the cookout.
You're not invited. But yeah, why didn't they go there, Bill? Why don't you think they went there?
Well, there's a few reasons that it's possible. One, kind of what Alex was talking about. It's fucked up. Like, that's just hard. You know what I mean? That's just hard. And they already, like, I haven't heard anybody really want to say it on YouTube, but they gave you the sound of them sawing off a child's head.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they
like. Are they going to like bring that head to?
Yeah, because in the book they try to take it out of the city.
Okay.
To bring back to Rhaenyra.
Luckily, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like, I don't like. First of all, she's
eye patch.
Exactly.
Grown man.
Is there a ruby in this motherfucker eye? I see no rubies in this motherfucker eye.
That should have been one of the first things that they said. It's like, there's gonna be a stone in this.
You know what happened? They were just like, fuck it, we gotta kill somebody. Like, we got caught. Like, they saw the handmaiden saw him. She had a tale to tell. And it was y'all didn't know nobody. Is this thing on?
But it's just kind of like, but like, you know, but like the fact of it is like, in the book, like, these guys seem a lot just more like evil.
Yeah,
you know, just like just wanted to do it just to be evil and nasty and weird. You know,
so
I didn't really get the sense from these guys.
That was my first reason, is that it was a little too gruesome, probably. But I personally feel like the show is what happened. The book is what is believed to happen. History goes to the victor, right? And I believe that there were just stories that are told. Like, we don't have the one character, what's his name, the little midget dude or little person, whatever. He's the fool in the book. And he has a lot of things that he chimed in as well as accurate, like, that are taken it to be completely accurate.
Are you talking about Peter Dinklage or
no? In the book.
Okay.
The fool who is in the book, he has a lot of stuff that he taught that is canon, if you will.
Okay.
So anyway, I think that what we saw is what actually happened. But how you gonna explain Alicent smashing old boy when it comes to the book, right? Like when it's supposed to be historically written down for motherfuckers to know for thousands of years later. You're not gonna try to make Alicent look like a hoe.
Yeah.
Right? You got to explain that away. Alicent had to be there. Why would she not be there? Right? It's just these things that, like Aegon was, Daemon was supposed to have killed Luke on purpose. Chased him down in the storm and killed him on purpose. We know now Daemon couldn't figure out how to get this motherfucking dragon to stop acting. This dragon went dragon.
And I do like the way that they've done the series with
dragon. I'm sorry.
I do like that way.
Who would have thought?
I like the way that they've done the series where just like you have the implications of the way that the books have been written, where it's just like sort of like who knows what could have happened, and you sort of getting like a realization of how things actually transpired in live action series. But guys, let us know how you've been enjoying like House of the Dragon. What do you think of the first season? What do you think of this season 2 premiere?
They sawed off a man's head, a child's head, man.
But also in like, just again, it's just like super interesting what Bill is saying, because that would be super like great if that like then becomes the lore of like, you know, we see that like propagate like with this situation as well, of like, oh no, she actually picked the other one, you know, and that's like the information like that would be actually really interesting. And I think, but like for the scene as it was, I was expecting something just like a little bit more dramatic.
Same. And also, just to that point, I was feeling the exact same thing. I wish it had gone that direction more, but I'm not mad at what they did. I was mad, and I hope they extend when her son comes back. What's his name? Jacaerys? God damn it. When Rhaenyra's son comes back from the north, he goes up there and he talks to the Stark boy about how the Night's Watch is up there to try to protect from the dead.
Yeah.
And dragons won't even pass through here. And, you know, then he found out about his brother dying. But he comes back. In the book, he was supposed to be there, get a little free time with a snow girl, you know what I'm saying? A little bastard girl. And very Robb Starkish. You know what I'm saying? So I hope they go back to that in some kind of way, because it was a big part of the book. I'm not trying to spoil anything if they do go back to that. But yeah, man.
But yeah, again, very good way of opening the season too.
Very good.
Having us like have the Starks theme and everything, just be like playing the wall or whatever. Yeah, super cool.
It's awesome.
Oh, you know what that sound means? We're moving on to the next topic. I guess that's going to be the new thing.
Yeah.
Let's make that the new thing. Oh, yeah. Y'all know it.
That's right.
It's about to get all Star Wars up in this bitch.
Thanks to the real ones who stick around for the real shit. Shout out to the drunk Bantha out there. If you're watching right now, you are a Bantha, you goofy motherfucker. Get drunk with us. Well, it's not.
Pause that before we get flagged.
It's not. Okay. It's not necessary. First of all, it was at the quiet part. That's why it was good. We was good for a second. But anyway,
I don't know how
But look, you interrupted my drop. You know, go get you some merch. It's in the description. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description on Nerds at Night or on the Drunk Banthas channel. If you're on Twitter, just add us and
something.
And what was the hashtag? There was a new hashtag. I forgot what it was.
Jacket.
Hashtag jacket. That's right. Hashtag jacket. If you text that, or there you go. Boom. There it is. Jacket. Okay, I don't know what it is. Yeah, just so go hashtag jacket on Twitter, and we'll send you the description and or give you some free shit. So yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk about episode 3 of the Acolytes. Oh man, I love that song so much. Possibly the best Star Wars song.
Yep.
We'll ponder on that later.
It is. That's a great podcast. I can't wait to do that episode.
Spoiler alert: that song has
actually. I'm gonna
episode.
No, I'm writing that down though because
spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's a great pod.
But this episode is is a flashback episode. We go 15 years prior to the events of the first 2 episodes, where we get the childhood of these 2 twins who are obviously very force sensitive, and they're raised on this little commune where of this force sensitive community of witches. Nine, what did you think of like the implications of this community and the relationship with the daughters and their mothers? Because I've seen a lot of scuttlebutt online, like a lot of people, and I've talked to a couple of people who are like big Star Wars fans. They're really mad about the idea of someone being able to create a life with the Force. And because they felt like the Anakin situation is like a very like a rare situation where it shouldn't be able to be replicated so easily. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's like sort of like breaking canon? Do you think about that at all? Like how do you feel about
do you care?
Yeah, do you care about that at all?
Yeah, like because I never actually really liked the Anakin was born of the Force theory. I actually feel like it makes more sense here, to be honest, because like it's a more mysterious, like dark magic type of like thing that's going on. But like I can understand where, again, it's just like that like weird cyclical nature of Star Wars fandom, where it's just like all of a sudden the prequels are the best thing ever. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like,
they have always been the best thing ever.
Okay, whatever.
No, I mean not ever. I mean, come on, you know.
Not even better than the original series.
No, I wouldn't go that. Well, some of them are better than Return of the Jedi.
I would say Revenge of the Sith is better than
Return of the Jedi. Yeah, there's a couple of them that are better than Return of the Jedi. I'd say Revenge of the Sith is better than Return of the Jedi, and I would say Phantom Menace.
That'd be a good.
Is on par.
That'd be a good comp. Return of the Jedi versus Revenge of the Sith, because neither one of those movies are perfect. Like,
yeah,
there are things
and then end of trilogy things, and it's like Rise of Skywalker is like way below.
We've had this argument on podcast before.
Oh yeah,
you guys can go check it out and you can see who wins. I win.
Star Wars is cyclical.
But we can do this podcast later if y'all want to. We can just do it another day.
I don't think we've had enough time to really.
No, I'm saying we could do it. We could do it another day. Yeah. Just pre-record it, put it out later. We can have that conversation.
But yeah, like, do you guys like feel like this this idea of a covenant who embraces the Force? They talk about the Force in a different way. They call the Force.
I like how y'all be talking about it. Y'all be talking embrace the Force.
Yeah, like a big hug. Like a body pillow.
Yeah.
Like they call the Force a different thing. They call it the thread. Like the lore with their relationship with the Force is very interesting because it doesn't have this same association with all these specific rules. Do you feel like the way that they depicted
I think they do have a real rule. Don't use it. It seems like they're less inclined on talking about using it as a like they don't call it the Force, I think, because they don't intend on being forceful, right? Like it's not meant to, they don't say it penetrates us. They just say it surrounds us. It's a part of us. It's just the verbiage is a lot different, even though it's very much so the same.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think like you said that they have less rules or no rules. I think they have a very specific rule, only one, which is we don't use it unless we need to use it.
Right.
Like
no, you're right.
That's probably how we didn't see them eating nothing except the spice shit spice creams. And we know that the Force can nourish yourself. We know that you can nourish yourself with the Force. Maybe they don't leave that fucking rock because it's dangerous, apparently. So maybe they nourish themselves. You know what I'm saying? We talked about these things on what I'm calling the Nerd Cantina on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I think. Yeah.
Like when they said spice creams, it kind of made me think maybe this is kind of Dune-ish, where just like, you know, everybody on Arrakis is just like eating spice like it ain't no thing, and that's just like the culture there, and like the culture on this planet with these people who practice the Force in a different way. Yeah, they eat spice all the time. They sprinkle a little spice on the ice cream. Like, man, who knows?
Spice maybe is that like just crack, helps. Nigga. Spice is like crack in this. Actually, it's like LSD, my nigga. So you telling me? Hold on.
Yes.
You telling me that niggas just is eating spice?
Indeed.
Willy-nilly, like crack.
Indeed.
Absolutely, positively.
Putting it on ice cream.
Yes, sir.
And eating it like potato chips.
Yes, sir.
Bitch said, how many ice creams? She said, how many ice creams you gonna have? I'm gonna have 5 of them bitches.
I'm about to get lit.
I'm about to get lit, bitch. Hey, when I sing, I want y'all to throw me a motherfucking quinceañera. You know what I'm talking about?
It's going up.
It's going up.
One thing I want to ask you guys about. One thing I want to ask you guys about. Not you first, because one of the things that have been
this is why you hang out to the end, guys.
There's so much goddamn content that we talk about tonight. Like, I'm like, woo, okay, let's go. Ask me the question out.
One of the things that been the most interesting things about this episode to me, and kind of the buildup of a lot of implications they had through a lot of the movies and the TV shows of Star Wars, is the moral ambiguity of the Jedi. Like, and this episode really shines a light on just like these. They kind of show these
cooking.
They kind of show the Jedi as like these baby snatching. I don't know. I can't think of the word, but they basically they're baby snatchers. They only have they
pedo adjacent.
What's baby snatching about this scene? What is weird about a Jedi hiding in the trees looking at some children? Like,
about this.
You're really going to call him a baby snatcher just because of?
And no bullshit. No bullshit. I'm not trying to be mean. It doesn't help that he doesn't speak perfect English. You know what I'm saying? Because now you running around the corner, you like everybody's like, I don't know him. I don't know him. He not from here. We know he not from here. He don't speak like nobody else. You can't even be. That's not a good spy. You don't send a spy in who don't sound like nobody else. So
was that Jesse Clemens is like, so you're a Jedi. What type of Jedi are you?
It's like, it's okay. I'm a Jedi. I'm a Jedi.
What type of Jedi?
We get this interesting moment with the Jedi and the twins, where they kind of are trying to recruit them to join the Jedi Council, and only Osha decides to move forward, and May is more like invested with her family. We get this whole crazy jealous moment where, like, you know, Osha decides she wants to go with the Jedi, but May is resentful toward her sister, and it seems like she starts a fire, which I guess seemingly destroys the entire civilization that they have built upon. And there's a lot of questions about what happened with their parents and the rest of the witch community, and whether the Jedi had some sort of responsibility in what happened there. A lot of questions. What happened? Like, it seems like they're definitely trying to show this from the perspective of Osha, and maybe we'll get a perspective of May later and how she sees the events transpire. But Nine, how do you feel about like this ambiguity of this scene? We get all the witches dead, and we don't know what happened. Like, how do you think this is going to transpire over the next few years?
Let's beat these witches.
Yeah, like I like it a lot because I really think that there is just like something more going on that the Jedi did. Like there is just something like it's just super weird because I just don't think that May did all of this shit right here. And but like at the same time, she could have.
Yeah.
Anti-idiotic. You should. It's not. It is really not bad. But like, but at the same time, there could have been something that went on during the ceremony because of the fact that we see that she May is the one that got imbued with that mark of the beast or whatever that they were putting on or having them ascend to coven leaders upon their mother's death. So it could be that she has like some type of more mystical power or some type of thing that she was able to wrap up all of the coven. But at the same time, I do think that the show hinges on the fact that the Jedi fucked up in some major way or like did something pretty evil to egg this along, knowing the fact that there are these other Force users. I feel like that is kind of like the supreme battle in the theme of the show, other than fire, of course, which is very prevalent in the show.
Yeah, like Master Tobin willingly took poison to kill himself and apologized right before he did. You don't do that if you didn't feel an immense amount of guilt over something that went terribly wrong. And
especially if all you did was just like while you were there, like if all you did while you were there was was get blacked out, was get blackout waste, like you know what I'm saying? Like
I went to this planet and all I got was this lousy shirt. All I got was this lousy blackout.
Like it was just so crazy how they were able to do that, and I'm just like, okay, even if why wouldn't you be able to do that to May? I'm trying to find the clip because that shit was like, he saw some shit right there. He saw some shit. He was like, okay, and that's all we've seen from his character doing anything. Just walking in, he's a Padawan, he's got the braid or whatever, right? And also the later in the future, we see he's got the scar on his eye. Somehow everything. Right. Something fucking happened to this dude that hasn't been revealed yet, where he did something, and that's the only way that he would have taken the poison.
Mr. Anti-Idiotic, you should definitely check it out. Good job, man. He said, all right, I will. And we will see you next week because I know you're going to be like infatuated with it. And you'll be like, man, I only know 3 people who are watching this right now.
Don't listen to the bigots, because I feel like we could just talk about like that.
Yeah, you know what? Let's let me just stop, because I talked about this on what I am calling the Nerd Cantina on Wednesdays with Kirstyn Cobb.
That's for the women to decide. So
yeah, I'm just saying, like, you gotta
for the Bene Gesserit sect of our nerd kingdom here.
What else am I supposed to say? I gotta say something. I don't know what to call it. But like I said, what I'm calling, that's not the official. That's my ad. So that's not the official name for it, but we were talking about it on there, me and Nine, and yeah, it's doing a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I didn't probably wanted to do, but I feel like me and Nine are
congruent on how it's going forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to spoil nothing because they're gonna talk about it. But y'all need to watch it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, you can watch it right here on this same YouTube channel. Yeah, like it's
or Twitter or whatever y'all watching.
Yeah, wherever you're watching your stuff, it'll still be here.
But also, you need to watch this one comment right here. What Drunk Bantha said right here. I don't know who that is.
They started a fire, then it set a separate fire, then was intensified by something that happened between 3 Jedi and the witches.
Oh, it's supposed to be the Jedi.
Oh, sorry, the
but
Jedi.
I know it says three,
but yeah,
it's supposed to say the.
Yeah, it don't matter.
I mean, I'm assuming I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that guy is or what his intentions were, but I assume that that's what he meant to say.
No, Alex, I'm like actually more like concerned. I'm not concerned. Like, I'm more interested about your thoughts about this episode and like what you think is going on, especially because it is the flashback episode that we have gotten so far. And the fact that we have gotten there was a press release for 4 episodes for this season. So there's people that just like know a lot more that was going on right away. Is this what you're expecting to happen, or is this like how do you feel about like the story progression so far?
I like the story so far. The order is a little. I don't know. Like I was telling Bill when I watched this episode, I kind of wish this was kind of the first episode. Just because like we only get like we mentioned, we only get the perspective of one of the twins, really. We don't really get to see what happens on her side and what makes her so angry. So I thought that this would be like a really good opening for these characters and like still having the ambiguity of like what the Jedi did.
Great word.
And like opening and also positing these questions of like
another great word. You did that on purpose. That was another great word. You just did it on purpose.
I think Alex just talks like that.
Oh yeah, like
no, I said positing earlier. I talk like that too, but I just like how he be cooking.
Yeah,
you know what?
Real quick. I have a
That's
problem.
The wrong button.
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I sometimes have problem thinking of words. That's why I just like in high school I learned a lot of different words so I can just like think of a whole bunch of different synonyms. Yeah. Like I can't think of that words 1 through 3.
Right.
So
right.
Number 4.
Just work from your bottom up. Yeah.
So like it's just the way my mind works. It's like I can't think of
the same way. No, same way. It's better than saying that. Exactly. No, I'm just giving you look. Yeah. Does this seem like a joke? Hey, I said, man, you cooking.
No.
All right, he's cooking. Let him cook.
I was. You got surprised. I was just look. This nigga cooking, y'all, man. Look, this cooking, y'all, right now.
Hey, what were we talking about?
How the flow of the episode structures and like how you feel like the plot's going, and especially how you thought it was going to be, or how you wanted it to be number 1.
Right.
Yeah, like I felt like this episode like would have worked really well as the first episode of the season because like it posits all these interesting questions about how moral are the Jedi, like how like and like we raise these questions even in the first trilogy is like, oh, he is too old to be training. It's like, well, how old is too old? Even we had Anakin in the prequels, he's like he's way too old. It's like, god damn, this nigga's a little child. Like,
well, they didn't say well, that's the beauty of being able to go backwards, like they did with House of the Dragon. You can go backwards and be like, well, this is how they know not to go. This is why we know not to have Padawans, but of a certain age,
right? And the interesting implication of all that is that like we need to have Padawans of a certain age because we need to have them too young to question all being trained from such a young age to be basically like
I think it's
monk
less about
soldiers.
I think it's less about training and their ability to be trained.
Mm. Yeah,
Then,
both things. Yeah,
I think it's more about less about those two things, and more about trauma.
Mm.
Like when you're of a certain age, the only real trauma that you really have gone through is being born, right?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like it's more so like I can't fix. Like the Force is like magic; it can't fix anything. You know, you can't use magic to fix your problems. You can use magic to do things. Like if you believe in real magic, and magic is as far as how it is a construct in fantasy books and shit. And this is a fantasy show, so like
I really want, because we did just talk about this, Red Ace 6951, and you're actually like one of the first people to be talking about this on Twitch, especially, or commenting on Twitch.
Shout out to Twitch.
Says, I didn't like how they basically erased Anakin's status as the chosen one when they allowed another character to be born from the Force. I know, guys, we already talked about this, but Red Ace, if you can like actually elaborate on like, did you really like him being like born of the Force? Because I personally did not really like that. I thought it was kind of like, I don't know.
But
like,
also, they
like,
could be wrong though. Like I think that they leave in room for that to not be the case, or at least be misunderstood, because we know that these two twins were created of the Force in some kind of way, based on a dark side perspective.
Yeah,
was perceived as a dark side.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like Darth Clavis. Is it Clavis? No, I said that's
Plagueis.
No, Clavis is the nigga down the street. Darth Plagueis.
He got some good mushrooms.
He do got some good mushrooms, but
I genuinely believe that like both sides are like capping a little bit.
Yeah, that's
I do think that the Coven is capping a little bit about like
right.
where these girls are coming from, and I also think.
You think they're capping about where the girls? I think that they're capping like everybody. I think what we know as lore, we have to get rid of it, because just as similar to what I was trying to tell you about House of the Dragon, what we've known as lore is what the victor has been able to write over 100 years. So what we should do is kind of, because House of the Dragon is 100 and something years, like 120 or 110 years before Game of Thrones TV. Mm-hmm. So, and this is 100 years before what we know as the New Hope, A New Hope. So what I'm saying is a lot can change and be written like by the victor.
Right.
So
it's definitely one of the more interesting things about this is like everybody likes the smell of their own farts, you know. like I feel like
we all breathe the same air.
But I just said that to be weird. But I did
just have to hit this button right here. That's all. But
I do like the idea that, you know, this coven
giving niggas pink
you know, they trust their own. They trust their own community because they're all coming from their own like past traumas. Like I'm sure they've had their interactions with the Jedi where it was less than a savory, like where you know people died, people were hurt, people were taken away from them that they really cared about. So like I let all their information, like all their prejudices and their fears come from a place, and that's why they think that this community is the best way to do things.
Right. Yeah.
And Mr. Anti-Idiotic, I love your comment. I like all the gay stuff. I enjoy the gay stuff. Me too. I love this being a family where they're just like raising these two kids. I love these two actresses too. Like I thought that they're really good. Didn't look.
I mean, your mom is hot as hell.
Mr. Anti-Idiotic, I guess he's watching it right now. Like,
I'm like, God damn, got into this shit quick.
Like I enjoyed the like. Wait, where's there gay stuff in the first 2 episodes? Or did you just start with this episode? You're like, okay.
Charlie Barnett
Actually,
and he had a shirt
that
off,
actually
so.
might be cool. We were actually talking live, I mean backstage about like re-editing the Star Wars shows to be actual movies, and if you're able to figure it out. I actually tried the same thing with WandaVision. I didn't get too far into my edit, but I wanted it to be. I tried to make it a movie.
That's
but
great.
I think with
All you have to do is take out the second to last episode.
with what?
All you do is take out the whole second to the last episode, and then you're good.
Well, I wanted it to start with Monica Rambeau's like appearance. She came back. Or whatever.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Ooh, I need a.
Ooh, yeah, we did
So,
a
if I can find that file, maybe I'll show you guys like what I was working on if I still have that file. But but like Alex, what do you think happened during that like fiery ass moment? Like, what are your predictions? Let's speculate. I want you to speculate on that.
Wait, yeah, during the fiery moments, yeah, like there's a lot of ambiguity what really happened, like whether the twin burned everything, and
that's a lot of bodies.
That's a lot of bodies, and there aren't any identifiers, like you don't see people cut in half like from lightsaber burns or anything like that.
Ooh, yeah, say it. Yeah, you don't see no motherfucker. Hold on, man. You don't see no lightsaber marks, Alex.
Don't see the lightsaber marks, but
I don't see no fire or rubble really. Like, you think one rock could just like hit all of them on the head?
All right. People dying under rubble is a very common trope in movies like this, for sure. But I feel like there has to be something that has been just like that, this like very deplorable that the Jedi did in this situation. Otherwise, Master Tobin wouldn't have just like straight up killed himself. Like, I feel like that's like such a signifier,
pivotal,
that like something incredibly wrong with something terribly wrong happened during all of this, and I'm very curious to see how what's his name? What's her name's OSHA's
It's so loud, Bill.
I know.
What's the dude's name from Squid Game?
Saul.
Oh yeah, Saul.
Saul.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like
Better call Saul.
Saul.
Better call Saul.
That's a good way for you to remember. I'm just trying to help you because you know how we got.
I'm thinking is in Star Wars nobody has a problem with that.
But
yeah.
I feel like at some point he's gonna turn out to be like the worst guy in this. Like,
that would be.
He's like, oh, he's actually a piece of shit. Like during this moment,
He is a terrible Jedi,
Yeah.
as we pointed out on Wednesday on what I will call the Nerd Cantina. I'm just calling it that, just so you can go.
Women still need to decide on that.
Gotta decide on that.
The Bene Gesserit Council.
Exactly. Look, hey, I'm just trying to tell people where to find it. But anyway,
I'm saying
I love.
We
this.
have a witch on that team, so I
love this
going.
Bit. This is a bit now. This is a bit. Just they should have the name, and it just should go like this the whole time.
My follow up for Alex was that.
Hold on. Because we were talking about this on that show, is that like Saul is a terrible Jedi. He actually tried to like save both May and Osha. Like, he sees May first, and he goes, May, and he like reaches out like for the Force, but nothing happens. And then then he sees Osha falling too, and he goes, oh, Osha, and he reaches out and nothing happens, but he was able to get to her in time to grab her.
I don't think that's the sequence of events right there. I really don't.
I rewatched it today.
Let me.
I rewatched it now. I'm
gonna go back.
I've watched the episode 3 times now. It's actually didn't like
go back and see.
I like it less now than when I did on Wednesday.
Real quick, Mr. Anti-Idiotic said Samuel L. Jackson is in Star Wars. Nobody has a problem with that. Absolutely fucking not, because he belongs there.
Exactly. That don't even deserve no
That's
X-Files
the baddest
song.
motherfucker in the world.
That don't even deserve no
X-Files
song. It's like,
You're right about that, Bill. Actually, that's actually how it does happen.
It's how it happens. You can pull it
But
up.
like at the end of the day, it's like I feel like he was just coming around the corner, and he's just like, "Oh fuck," yeah.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that if he was like to Alex's point, like I just think that Saul got something that's gonna come around the corner because I don't think he's as good as we think he is.
Like we talked about in Bad Boys 4 recently, where Ian Grufford, aka Mr. Fantastic, he just like shows up out of nowhere in this franchise, and he's just like, hey, I'm a side character who's just gonna be a nice guy. It's like, you're definitely a villain. Like, there's no way you're not a bad guy. Because he was just like way too nice, and he's like way too much of like a big actor, like a big star power for that movie. Is like, you're definitely going to be a pivotal thing.
Like,
and this movie, in this series, I feel like I feel like the same way. Like, this guy is definitely going to be a villain by the end of the series. Like, he's too big of a name, and he's being way too goddamn nice. Like, he's just like
well, he's humble.
Nice and all
it's like the bad
boy.
You know what? MVP for fucking worst wig in television 2000. That's gonna be the Drunkies.
That's a pretty bad.
That's a Drunkies.
Oh, that's a Drunkies.
Carbon.
Write that down.
Worst wig. Yeah,
write that down because you can't forget that.
Yeah.
Worst.
I'm forgetting everything.
Because you guys like were bringing that up so much during the Drunkies, I was like, wait, is this a category or something? But you're like, almost every fucking category, you're like, hey, but that hair was fucked up. I was like, wait, hold on.
No, we talk about
like,
it so much on this show. We talk about stunt people. We talk about stunt performers and fucking hair and makeup, like killing it. You would think this is goddamn was it A&E?
Oh,
whatever they do, Bravo. Whatever they
Bravo.
do, Housewives on.
Like since the inception of Drunk Bantha's channel, we've very focused on hair. It's very important. Hair and wigs. But yeah,
I forgot my follow-up question. I almost had it, and it's gone. Never mind.
Well, you know what? Well, we have so much to discuss. Like as this series goes along, we got a lot of episodes going forward for this show. But do you guys have any final thoughts on this episode? How you feel?
What are your final thoughts? Fuck that. Don't be asking us.
Yeah, again, I feel like this series is a little disjointed. Like,
shit, like double jointed, not double jointed, but like disjointed.
When it comes to series, like you could always place the episodes in like a different order, and it would make it better or worse. Like we saw Firefly back in the day, where like they put episode 4 as episode 1, and it didn't translate as well as with the audience. So I feel like this is a similar situation where like they could have reordered the episodes a little bit better, where it would have told the story a little bit better. But who knows? We haven't gotten to the end of the season yet.
Yes,
I'm curious at how.
One more speculation thought from Alex. How do you feel like it like resonates? Because we've only seen one like scene of the like big bad like red lightsaber dude. Don't even know what the fuck to call him. But yeah, like how do you feel like his connection is going to play into this, and like how I mean, I guess we could speculate on the fact that like, yeah, of course he like found this like young May, and you know, she's already somewhat intertwined, got the mark of the beast on her forehead as the Force or whatever, and is able to take her on as an apprentice. But what do you think like his overall goal is, and what his motivations might be? Speculation.
Reckless speculation.
Reckless, because we don't really know nothing about this dude.
Regulation.
Don't let me
regulation. Ooh.
Don't let me recollate on your ass.
Yeah,
I'm less interested in like what his motivations are, because he just seems like a big bad on the hilltop type of a character. But I do like the idea of him being just like an emotional avatar for the twins' pain and suffering, and just like being a thing that helps her realize all of her anger and just like train her to just do bad things. Like I'm not really invested in him as a character other than him just being an emotional avatar for May's anguish. And I like that as an idea and just like him being there, but I don't want to know more about him. Like I don't need to know.
Well, like when he said like, oh, an acolyte kills without a weapon and kills the like dream or whatever, right? Like, do you think that like plays a big significance, and especially with like the themes of like fire consuming and like or whatever that they got going on? This is the regulation clock, by the way.
Yeah, like
Recollate, nigga.
I like the idea that they're doing this thing without the weapons or anything like that, and I'm curious how that is developed throughout the series. But again, like I'm not more interested in him as much as I am in May, like how she develops throughout the series. Like he's just an avatar for her pain and her anguish and her trauma and how that develops. But I'm more interested in how she develops through like he is. Like, yeah, it's not that important. He's like the emperor in the original trilogy.
All right, throw out another regulation theory that's going to happen.
I think that the nigga is like Darth Vader, nigga. You got to use him sparingly, or otherwise he's not scary. This nigga got the big fucking erection dection. He got the big red lightsaber. Like what happened? Nigga got the big dick. You know what I'm saying? Lightsaber. Boom. Light. Boom, boom. That's all it is. Boom, boom.
Cut that bitch off.
I already said that shit. What was it last week? I already said that shit last week. Nobody agreed, but I still am holding true to that shit. He's the big dick nigga, so that's why they showed him like that, erecting his lightsaber. Like, what's the point in that? What's the fucking point in even pulling out a lightsaber? Anyway. My point is, this motherfucker doesn't matter. But he does. You know what I mean? Like in A New Hope, we saw Darth Vader, like 5 times? 4 or 5 times? Like, you use your big bad sparingly. So that way the build up to that person is big. Now, they tried to hit that mark in Ahsoka with Thrawn, but you still got to show the motherfucker at some point, right? So like, you can't show him the last 2 episodes. So I do like that we already got him early, like in A New Hope. But now we're getting the story, right? Yeah. And we'll work through how we get to that. Yeah. And I think that I disagree with you on how they pace this story as far as episode arrangement, because I feel like, what is the point of showing us this, and then this episode makes the other 2 episodes you don't even have those, almost. You know what I'm saying? Like those 2 episodes have to be done completely different for you if you have this episode in between one of them or before both of them. Because what is investing me in these characters? I'm invested in these characters now because I didn't know they were twins in the first episode, or at least at the beginning of the first episode. Even if I figured it out halfway through that episode, now I don't know what happened. Like, why are they separated? So in the second episode, I figure out how that happens. The third episode, not the third episode, the second episode, I found out how it happens, but the second episode, I found out that they're not exactly on good terms, and neither one of them even knew each other were alive, right? We get more information, but we don't know shit. Third episode, we get that information. And so I feel like that is like perfect way of setting us in, because the third episode is usually the worst episode.
As we know, the third one's always the worst one.
But
we gotta get that clip too from Dark Phoenix, where Gene says, like, we know the third one's always the worst.
Always the worst one. Dude, that was a terrible fucking movie. But we got that coming up for y'all too. We're gonna rank the X-Men movies, but that's going up. But you see what I'm saying, though.
I see what you're saying. Like,
oh my god, it's Sophie Turner.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like,
I said a lot because I didn't say a lot at all before because I was just waiting. But
but not like I see what you're saying. Like, there's a
you ain't gotta
honestly,
respond to everything that I said. That's why I was saying that. I said a lot. You don't have to respond to everything that I was saying.
I don't respond to everything.
They heard what I said.
Guys, leave it in the comments. Like, let us know how you felt about this series, like the actors and the story.
Shout out to everybody who's watching right now as well, because
68 people watching.
68.
Almost 70. I think we touched 70.
Yeah,
across
I think
all platforms.
Little touch. Yeah, like Alex was saying, let us know how you feel about all these shows that we covered today, and if you want to hear us cover any other shows, put it in the comments, whatever you want. And also let us know if we're stupid. Let us know. let us know if you hated everything that we said today. And if you're watching this long, put it in the comments, because seriously, if you've watched this long, you might as well make a comment. And like, I might send you some, like, something better than this fucking
comment section was lit tonight.
Yeah,
comment section was lit. I'm just saying, if you're watching this long, might as well just comment again. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you're watching, because people don't watch it live, so you know what I'm saying, there's people who watch it afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So if you watch this long, man, please just go ahead.
We got time codes in the description.
Time codes in the description for sure.
If you don't want to be spoiled.
Shout outs. We should probably do a shout out time code. Shout out time code, because we're gonna do a shout out to Othelia's. Shout out to
the measurement of time. Yeah.
Mr. Bantha still watching.
Mr. A, the fifth Bantha is the moderator of the chat. So I appreciate him all the time. You know how we out here. Shout out to Mr. Anti-Idiotic. Shout out to Othelia's. Shout out to Lil Frothy. Shout out to Buddha. Shout out to Buddha.
Oh yeah, Buddha.
Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to that weirdo, made a weird comment. Gotta be a bot.
The drunk Banthas?
Gotta be a bot. Yeah.
No, he said drunk Banthas.
Yeah, that fucking weirdo. Happy Father's Day to anybody who.
Oh man, happy Father's Day!
I watched Logan for Father's Day. We both watched Logan for Father's Day last year.
This year.
Last day, last night,
last day.
It was a good shit.
No, I'm not rushing you. I'm just. It's just gonna play. You're good. I just want to hear some music, and yeah.
And also happy Pride Month. I have not said that this whole month while on the podcast. I just want to say happy Pride Month to everybody who's celebrating. But
we haven't said that. Huh?
Yeah, we haven't said that.
I think we did actually.
We might have said it. We've said it.
We've said it.
I'll be drinking.
You know. That's true.
But Nine, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me burning to death all week long, actually.
Oh yeah.
So happy I got Juneteenth off. Yeah. So I will be going live talking about episode 4 of the Acolyte, with the show that is to be named by the witches that are on the show.
That's right. I wish
named by Bill as the Nerd Cantina, but we should be, and it's probably going to be just like a Juneteenth episode of Star Wars. You know what I mean? We're going to go live. And you can find me on 9 Nerd Yards. That's 9 Nerd Yards on everything. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and the Discord server where we just talk about nerdy random shit. Join the chat. We be talking sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Yeah, you guys definitely check out the 9 Nerd Yards channel. Like, there's definitely a whole lot of shit there.
Alex, working. Hold
on. Might also drop a coonskin video on Pride. I mean.
Oh yeah, no, on Juneteenth. We can talk about it. Hey Alex.
No, I got like a video.
Alex, I got a question. Where can the people find you?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, like thank you so much for asking. Oh, you get guys. Well, it's all part of the wrap up. Thank you guys for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast.
Well, hold
we
on,
do this
don't-
every
I'm saying, hold on then. Well, if you don't want to tell people where you can find him, I can tell you really quickly. It's very simple. You can find him on, Drunk Banthas and putting up videos and whatnot.
Yeah,
but you can find me
in 1080p.
in 1080p on the Drunk Banthas channel and Nerds at Night on every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday with the Bantha Bunch. Your favorite cousin, Bill. Alex, hit us with the run, DZ.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, but don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Letterboxd, likewise, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little Force twins, and may the Force be with you.
Study the blade.